Hello everybody, welcome back to Fire Emblem Awakening. We're basically going to be finishing, quote-unquote, Lunatic Plus today. So the first thing I want to do really quick is make a copy of my Endgame save file in this empty space that I created. And we're going to be using this copy of the file in order to beat the game. The reason is because once I show that I'm capable of defeating Grima, what I'd actually like to do is come back to this save file before we do any, Grima preparations, because our Grima preparations are going to be pretty extreme because of the state of our save file, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But either way, I'm going to preserve this save file so that we can use it, so that I can show off things like the Spotpass chapters, the DLC, and eventually I would like to at least check to see if it's going to be possible for this team to eventually beat Apotheosis after going through all of the Spotpass and everything like that. Most likely what we're going to have to do is some grinding to get ready for Apotheosis, but either way, it'll be fun just to check and see. Now this save file down here, the copy that I just made is going to be used for our Grima preparations. This save file here is going to be considering, basically, is it possible to beat Grima in the condition that we're in? And I'm going to talk a little bit about the condition that we're in, because it's something that I think a lot of people... Oh, cool. By the way, this guy just appeared exactly on the one shop that we need to access. They really love doing that. They really love doing that. Anyway, this is a question that I commonly see come up on the Fire Emblem subreddit, where I spend a good amount of time. I usually lurk there a lot, and sometimes you'll see me posting from time to time, especially if people have questions, especially about Awakening specifically. But very frequently I see people who get to the very end of the game, not even on Lunatic Plus, but just on Lunatic mode, and I think maybe sometimes even on hard mode. They'll get to the very end of the game and they can't kill Grima. Like, they think that they don't have any units capable of killing Grima. And so this run that we're kind of doing right now, I think, is very close to how a lot of people's teams are going to look at the end game. We didn't really plan what we were doing, like, from the beginning. We just kind of pivoted into what chat asked me to do, like which units you guys asked me to use. We don't have a single character who is fully trained. Like, people who play this game, like, on a quote-unquote expert level, typically they're going to have one character, like a boss killer, or even just like a main carry that they're going to use for most of the run. You can see we didn't really do that. Even our Tharja is like, she doesn't really have any capped stats. She capped her speed and that was it. Our Lon'qu didn't even cap his speed, and he's been one of our main units. He doesn't even have a single capped stat, not even Lon'qu's highest stat. Hello Tricky, hello Sothis, hello Sigmund Soldier, hello Ariska, hello Puchivert, and hello Level 0 Maid. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome today. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to be yapping a little bit at the start. This is kind of more of a planning stream, or more of like a showcase stream than a gameplay stream to begin with, but I'm glad that people are here to watch. Yeah, 41 speed is still crazy, for sure. 45 speed is still crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, we don't even have a single character who has, like, more than one capped stat. Like, we don't have, like, a single combat carry or a boss killer that you would typically have at the end of the run in order to kill Grima. We just have to work with the tools that we have available. And we're playing on the hardest difficulty mode. So if I can kill Grima from this position, it's pretty safe to say that anyone could kill Grima. Like, if you can get to the end of the game, then you can kill Grima. But in order to do that, we're going to have to do some pretty extreme preparation. And so we're basically going to be devastating our save file here. I'm going to be selling every single piece of equipment that I don't need in order to kill Grima, or to kill the enemy who is blocking the path in front of Grima, which means Lucina, Cynthia, Tharja, Robin, Crom, and Sumia all need to have a weapon, specifically for like one weapon in order to do combat. And then basically everyone else just needs to sell everything that they're holding. Do I think Sayri is viable or worth using on Lunatic and Lunatic Plus? Yeah, I think she's pretty good. I think she's actually one of the better partners for Male Robin. So typically, Male Robin has a couple of really good partners that nobody else has access to, which are Anna, Sayuri, and to a lesser extent Tiki. I actually think Nowi is just like better than Tiki in most ways, partially just because of availability, because you get Nowi like pretty early on. Hold on 1 second. My voice is really shot today for some reason. I think it's because I was just chatting a lot yesterday, like talking, using my voice a lot, which more than I should be, especially a day before streaming. Also, by the way, welcome to the stream, Sarky. But yeah, I think Sayuri is one of the really good partners for Robin, especially because Swordmaster is an agnostic class, which means you can just give the speed bonus to Magical Robin, or you can give it to Physical Robin, and it's worth the exact same. Yeah, and because Magical Robin is so good, you really have to find female partners that are actually good para-partners for a magical male unit, which is actually pretty tough. There's just not that many. You always wanted to see how Morgan would do with Anna as the mom. You should really try that. Yeah, I think Anna is... I'm not 100% sure on this. I know Anna is definitely used in the LTC. I'm wondering if you could make a route where you use like Robin with male Anna and just like kind of merge those two ideas together. Like if you're just using Anna anyway, for things like the speedrun and the LTC, if you're using Anna anyway, if you want to use male Robin, I feel like you could just, condense those ideas together and just be like, hey, just pair Robin and Anna together, and you just get value from that. Aid, you could says you can inherit Vantage onto Morgan. Yeah, you could do that. She would start in... I guess she would start in Thief. I'm imagining that Morgan would start in Thief class, which is not really a great class to start in, but it's not bad either. It means you get move +1, you get Lock Touch, you can inherit Vantage, or you can inherit something else like maybe Tome Fair from Anna. And then you could even have Anna pass down Magic +2, although that, in my opinion, if you're doing that, it means you're basically benching Anna in order to prop up Morgan's viability. You can inherit whatever you want from Robin as well, so that's great. Sorry I gave you 2 daughters and she's still only a girlfriend. Give the Yandere her ring. Hello, Bronze Vixen. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Ikularg. Any thoughts on Spotpass characters like the non-ninja guy, Valadar, and Emerin? I think I'm going to talk about each of the Spotpass chapters in like upcoming streams, because we're going to be doing them kind of one at a time. But let's see. We have this should be Wallheart. This should be Wellspring of Truth. Who is Wellspring of Truth? I should probably pull up the wiki instead of going into these chapters one at a time individually, especially because this is going to be such a slow stream. Oh, this should be a Versa. Yeah, this is a Versa. You can make this chapter really easy, by the way. She summons copies of your characters, and I think if this is the chapter I'm thinking of, she summons copies of your characters, so you can just send in like really weak, crappy characters into battle, and that kind of helps. But I think they also have like, it's been a while since. Hold on a second. It's been a while since I've played it, but I think there's like a minimum level or like a minimum stats, so they just copy like the classes. Maybe, so like even if you send in like, mages or whatever, she still has like a level 20 mage, you know what I mean? So it's not the same as like the level 4 mage that you're sending into battle. And then I'm not sure how she handles empty slots either. Anyway, okay, so Gangrel. So let's start with Tiki. We'll count Tiki. Tiki is okay. Probably her best feature is that she comes, high leveled. But like I said, I think Nowi's just better for availability and support ranking reasons. But after that, you've got Gangrel, Wallheart, Emerin, Yenfei, Aversa, and Priam. Honestly, I've never really used any of them because you just don't get them until the very end of the game. And so the only time you would really use them is if you're adding them to a post-game team. But if you're building a post-game team, you're basically going to be using Generation 2 units. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't really see a lot of use for the Spotpass characters. But then again, like, you could absolutely still use them. It's just, you wouldn't be doing it for, like, optimization reasons. You'd just be doing it for, like, oh, I want to do this because it's a cool idea reasons. So, yeah, it is what it is, but... there's another thing I wanted to find out, which is whether or not we can have Tharja actually take damage on turn 1. so that on turn 2 her vengeance potentially could be stronger. But the issue is that Grima hits her pretty hard, which means we need to keep her HP high enough so that she won't get killed by Grima's counterattack, because she's the only character who can survive it, which I don't think we ever calculated how much damage that was, but we'll go back and do that later. So first things first, we need to get this guy out of the way. So I was not anticipating having to do this, because I didn't imagine that out of 30 spaces on the map, this guy would appear in the exact location of the exact shop that we need to access. I really should have accounted for that, though. That's obvious that was going to happen. Very obvious stuff going on here. So we're gonna have to mess around with the clock now. You guys get to look at my configuration screen as well while I'm doing that. I think you can see I have like a bunch of Etrian Odyssey games, a bunch of Fire Emblem games, and then like nothing else. I think I had like 1 or 2 Pokemon games. Alright, so this has like a small chance of getting him to leave. And because the map is so huge, we have to watch all of these things show up one at a time. Oh, cool. Nope. He didn't move out of the way. All that happened is Anna appeared in the shop. Alright, so we're going to do this again. We're going to just... This is even more annoying to do on original hardware. And by the way, I haven't actually confirmed that this works on original hardware, but if it does, if it works the same as Pokemon, you can just set the clock to 11:59, and then you have to wait a minute for the date to change manually, because if the game senses that you changed the clock, that specifically like the calendar, it will just lock down all of the features on you. Okay, so we have access to our shops now, thankfully. Let me see something about these Annas who just appeared, because there's a small chance they might have brought the items that we want, in which case we should buy it from them, potentially, if they have them on sale. I thought another Anna appeared over here, yes. Killer Lance, that's not going to be useful for us. Okay, so nothing on sale, so we're just going to pay full price for whatever we want. Most likely we're going to be using Brave Weapons. Let's visit the barracks one more time while we're here, might as well. New events have occurred. Good evening, Garrett. Welcome to the stream. You could instant promote to Trickster if you do Thief Morgan. That's true. Oh, she starts as a Myrmidon. Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I actually don't think Myrmidon is a great class to start in, though. I've talked about this with Wayne. If it's empty slots, you get more copies of the characters you did send in. Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar from when I did it in my... So the only time I ever played the Spotpass chapters before was in my first Lunatic Plus run, which was the one where I allowed myself to do grinding. So it was a little bit different from what we're doing with this run. This is actually going to be my first time trying to see if it's possible to beat the Spotpass chapters with a non-grinded, just like a team that you use during the story. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty tough, because the Spotpass chapters are populated with like pretty much like endgame, like capped enemies. YouTube finally allows full screen and chat at the same time. Oh, that's a really cool feature. It's probably very laggy right now, though. Yenfei was mentioned. Welcome, Macramon Plays. Welcome to the stream. You could summon Spotpass characters to buy items whose regular shop is blocked. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's just annoying as well. And I'm actually not sure if I ever did that on this save file, because you have to manually go in and edit the save files to make it possible. I guess we can check while we're here. Oh yeah, we got some of them. Maybe all of them. You have to manually go in and edit your save file now to make that possible. Although I think there's a tool to do it, but I don't know how to use the tool, or I don't have the tool. Instead, I just learned how to hex edit the code myself, which is way more effort than just downloading a tool. But the tool didn't used to exist. Okay, anyway, let's get back to what we're doing. We're gonna sell everything. Silver bow, bronze bow, longbow we don't need, elixir we're not gonna need. In fact, let me just, to make this process quicker, we're gonna go into the inventory. We're going to store all. That should store everyone's items. Okay. Now we're gonna go here. So, yeah, I talked about this at the start of the stream. It's been 15 minutes now just because I've been yapping the entire time. So because of the state of our save file, because we've been doing like a very laid back playthrough, and we basically just got to the end game, but we don't really have a team that's actually, we don't have a main carry, we don't have a team that's capable of really killing Grima under normal conditions. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be selling everything in our convoy, and we're just going to make like a couple of super weapons, just for the sake of killing Grima, and, you know, beating the final chapter. So we're going to be selling everything that we have in order to buy new equipment that's going to be better for what we're trying to do here. Let me make sure that Lucina and Cynthia have items first. That's going to be pretty important. I might have just sold the silver sword that I want her to have, but it's not that big of a deal. I can give her the parallel falchion, which is the same thing as the silver sword, and then I want her to have a I'll just give her the Ufel for now. I might have to sell this later if we're desperate for money. And then Cynthia should be holding a Gungnir, and we'll also give her a silver lance if we can get away with just using a silver lance. In fact, we could use this one that only has 3 charges, because we're not going to need more than that to kill one enemy. Alright, next we're going to go here. Now we're going to finish selling everything else now that we're sure we're not going to accidentally sell the things that we want to keep. We don't need killing edges anymore. We definitely don't need lemon swords. We never needed those. We don't, well, we don't need Soul Imatsu or Balmung, but they're not worth anything, so. Sell these soothing swords. Sell these superior edges. Sell these Elwood blades. Sell these Erica blades. Balm blade. Bronze lance. Iron lance. Bunch of iron lances that we got early on that we never used. A couple of silver lances. Probably we could get away with, sorry. My eyes are a little bit watery. I named the wrong 6 characters, by the way. We're not using Chrom or Sumia for anything. We're going to be using Lon'qu and Nowi, of course. I will use the Falchion if I have to for its bonus damage against Grima, but I want to see if we can do it without using the Falchion. That would be really fun, if we can get away with that. We're not going to need Beast Killers anymore. We're not going to need Killer Lances. We're not going to need logs, glass weapons. I mentioned before that glass weapons... Oh my god, sorry guys. I have very sensitive eyes, and they are kind of hurting today for some reason. Ugh. Unfortunate. Bad timing. Am I going to do Paladin Chrom with Exalted Falchion Dual Strikes? No, probably not. It's funny how you can ruin your save file for the Grima fight because you can't save afterwards anyway. Yeah, that's true. But we're going to be doing stuff. We're going to be doing a bunch of prep to kill Grima, and then I want to save. You know, and then I'm going to do some testing, and then I'm going to save, and then I'm going to do more testing. So we need to preserve our original file, which is going to be before we sold everything in our convoy, because we kind of need that. Yeah, the enemies in the orange maps are ridiculously strong. Would I say any of the 2nd gen units turned out good this run? Yeah, for sure. We'll look at them in a second. I think Cynthia turned out great. I think Lucina eventually turned out pretty good with all of the investment. Noir was pretty good. Severa was a little underwhelming, but it's not a problem with Severa, it's just the fact that we didn't really use her or train her properly. God, we got so much stuff to sell. I'm going to stop naming everything that we're selling, and I'm just going to sell everything. We might even have to go back to our original file so that if we accidentally sell like something that we needed, if the budget ends up being really tight. I doubt it's going to get that bad, but it could, you know, things have happened before, so you never know. Hector's axe, a bunch of forged bows that we were using throughout the run that we actually got a ton of value out of. Silver Rose. Okay, make sure you don't sell the Brave Bow. We're going to be using that. Might as well use the one we have instead of buying a new one. Bunch of tomes we're not going to be keeping. Somehow a bunch of our tomes just got split up into like separate columns. Paladin is pretty good because it gives strength and speed. Oh yeah, Paladin is a fantastic pair of classes. One of the best. it's pretty much the best for physical units. It basically gives slightly less speed than Speedmaster. It gives slightly less strength than Berserker, but it just gives like all of the physical bonuses that you want in a single support slot. So unless you have a character who just literally does not need any speed for any reason whatsoever, Paladin is pretty much the best. Unless also like if you're in a weird situation where you exactly need like a bunch of extra strength, like a very specific amount of extra strength, you could make an argument for Berserker being better. Because you don't really need the defense if you need this. If you need the strength, then you don't need the defense. We're not gonna keep these Ruin Tomes. Yeah, we don't need the Ruin Tomes. We're gonna be using, I think, Waste Tomes instead. We're basically not gonna need any stabs. We'll keep like 1 mend, 1 physics staff, just in case. We'll keep a rescue staff, or we'll keep actually a couple of rescue staffs as well, just in case. They're expensive, but we'll sell them later if we really need to. But I mean, it's like just in case. We're not gonna need Hamurn. Yeah, this is. So hey, remember how Arms Thrift saved you a bunch of money? Look how much money we actually had in our convoy. And we're not even done yet. We're not going to need any vulneraries, any concoctions. We're not going to need any elixirs. Okay, so we will need HP tonics. We will need strength tonics, magic tonics, skill tonics, not really, but it's 75 gold. Speed tonics we'll need. Defense tonics will... Defense tonics, no. Resistance tonics, yes. Chest keys and master keys we don't need. Okay, so the energy drops, we're going to be giving all of them to Lon'qu and or Nowi. The spirit dust, we're going to be giving all of that to Tharja. The secret books, we're going to be giving to probably Lon'qu, I think. Speed wings, I think Lon'qu can use one of them. Draco shields aren't going to matter. Talismans will matter. We can give... Well, we kind of determined that Lon'qu can't survive even with all of the talismans and the rest tonics. And then Tharja just survives even without them, so I guess the talismans aren't really that useful. I'm going to hold on to them for now. We're not going to need any second seals, Gris's Confects, or Reeking Boxes. Okay. Next up. If I'm going to use the DLC classes, who would I use them on and where would I use them? This is a pretty good question. So I think this has kind of come up a few times, but I actually, as much as I trash on Donald, I do think that giving, if you have the ability to give him Dreadfighter, it pretty much immediately fixes all of his problems because it improves his bases. I mean, it's not going to make his bases great, but it does improve them. It improves his bases, it gives him access to a class with promoted level combat ability, and he'll eventually get actually good skills by leveling through this class. And let me see, I'm going to confirm which weapons they use in this game, because I know obviously they don't have shurikens in this game, because there are no shurikens in this game. But I don't really use the DLC very often, so I don't know off the top of my head which weapons they have. I think it's swords, axes, and tomes in this game, and if true, that's fantastic for Donald. Yeah, it's swords, axes, and tomes, which means you literally promote him into a class that has swords and axes. Now, the downside is that you don't get the benefits of leveling through fighter or leveling through mercenary, which means you're not going to get HP plus 5, you're not going to get arms thrift, you're not going to get zeal, and you're not going to get patience. But instead, you're going to get Dreadfighter's skills, which are good. So it's kind of a trade-off, and then you could send him into mercenary or fighter later on. And the big thing is that it's gonna preserve his sword and his axe rank instead of training him with lances and then sending him to a different weapon type. It makes him a lot more comparable to Vake. Just by putting him into Dreadfighter. Bride also I think is really good. It's basically the only bow staff class in the game. Bows and staves are the two top tier weapon types. the only other arguable top tier weapon type is basically tomes and axes. So having a bow staff is really good, and also they get lances on top of that, just like, hey, by the way, you just get a third weapon type. So that's pretty good. I think those are the only two like DLC classes that you can give to any character in this game. Maybe does Lodestar also work in this game? Can you give that to anyone, or is that just exclusive to Marth? I don't know, I said Mark. Yeah, either way, I've never really been a big fan of Lodestar, but yeah, Bride and Dreadfighter are both really good. You can give Dreadfighter to basically anyone later on as well. It's just a way to play around both Aegis and Pabis, which matters for Lunatic Plus. Can I use someone to get rid of the guy protecting Grima on turn 1, rescue them out, and then have more actions on turn 2? I don't think it really makes any difference, but maybe it does. We can try. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to give Hellswath to you. Goetia, and Volflame to you. I don't even know how to pronounce these things. And Volflame to you. We're going to be giving... She doesn't need Gungnir, but she can hold this, well... She's going to be using a Brave Lance anyway, we know that for certain. Right. No, she's not even going to be, because we don't need her for anything. I've said this already. We don't even need these two for anything. I'm thinking of Lon'qu and Nowi. So maybe she needs Hellswath, because... Well, I mean, we're going to be giving her a Brave Axe, we know that. Lon'qu is going to be using a Brave Bow, which he has already. So it's going to be... And then Cynthia and Lucina. Yeah, so Cynthia, Lucina, Tharja, Robin, Nowi, and Lon'qu. So we need to buy her a Brave Axe really quick. That's like for certain we're going to be needing that.
What can I fix you with?
Basically all of these characters are going to be holding Brave weapons. So Brave Axe for you. Does she have air rank and lances? No, it's only C. Okay, so definitely not lances. It's weird that you can't see that in the shop menu. Okay, so definitely a Brave Axe for you. Brave Axe or Brave Sword for you? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure Axe is better in this case, but accuracy is definitely a concern when you're dealing with Grima. But then again, because of the way we're playing the game, this is a laid-back playthrough. This is not, for the Iron Man planning purposes. We don't really need to worry about reliability. We can just reset until we get the kill. I just want to show that it's possible. But I believe with axes, the Brave Axe is going to have 13 effective might, and the Brave Sword is going to have 12 effective might. So the Brave Axe is better. The only way the Brave Sword is better is that it's going to have 80 hit versus 70 hit, which I'm totally fine with. So we go like that. We go Brave Axe on you. Then we need you to have a Waste Tome, which we actually have to go buy from somewhere else. These two should already have the gear that they need just to kill the one guy that's in the way. So aside from that, let me give staffs to our staff users. If she does anything, it's just going to be rescue. We're going to be using her for other things. Oh, you know what it was? We actually need her to use Rally Speed, which is why we ended up using Chrom and Sumia to attack instead. Is there any way around that? Yeah, we can use Olivia. We can Rally Speed and then we can dance for her. So that we should be fine with using Cynthia to attack. Noir turned out pretty good, by the way, and also Owain. He didn't reach his max potential yet, but he's already a better staff user than Anna or Libra. Keep that in mind. So we're going to be using him with priority over Anna and Libra. We can give him the Physics staff as well. Then we're just going to be giving like the remaining stabs to these characters. Okay, is there anything in the convoy that we're not currently holding with a character? Basically just the unsellable equipment like Soul, Balmung, Amatsu, the Exalted Falchion. I just want to make sure we're not overlooking anything that we have, available that we could make use of. Okay. So let's go get a, I think it's called Waste Tome. Should be over here somewhere. Yes, it is. It has a horrible hit rate, though. That's a problem. You know what? If we give this Seraph Robe to Lon'qu,
Oh, come on in.
he might be able to survive. Because I think it was pretty close. The problem is I don't want to buy it if it's not gonna make a difference. So hold on a second, let me save.
Take your time.
And a Waste Tome. The problem with the Waste Tome is it has atrocious accuracy, so we might need to figure out something else to do with her. Like, we could potentially give her a Ruin Tome, just because it's going to allow her to actually land her attacks. But then again, 4 attacks with 4 chances for Robin to dual strike might just be more valuable anyway, even with everything factored in. Alright, so what I want to see is how much damage Grima is going to be doing to Lon'qu. Grima deals 70 damage. They don't have... I think they have Ignis, which is like pretty much guaranteed to attack. Yeah, so the problem with Ignis, it's going to deal an extra 25 damage, which is a lot. And it's you pretty much have to plan for the fact that it's going to trigger. So essentially they have 70 plus 25. They effectively have 95 attack. I just don't think Lon'qu can survive this. So it would be 51 plus 7 plus 2 plus 4, excuse me, plus 5 is 69. 95 minus 69 is 26. Actually, it seems like we can survive if we stack up all of these bonuses. But then why did Lon'qu die last time? Because I feel like we stacked most of these bonuses already, other than the plus 5. We should have survived on 31 HP, but we got one shot. So something's happening here. Grima's dealing more damage than I expect them to be dealing. I expect them to be dealing 95 damage. 70 plus 25. They have a high crit chance too. Maybe they crit us. Maybe that's what happened. I mean, we're not going to survive on a crit. 26 times 3. $78. Yeah, like there's just no way we're surviving on a crit. So it seems like we survive if they don't crit us, but we don't survive if they do crit us. So I'm going to actually reset. I'm going to go without the Seraph Robe. This might be a very dumb mistake, but the good thing is if we have to go back to the original save file, we can just not have the Seraph Robe anyway. And also we're planning around not having Lon'qu ever get hit anyway. So yeah, I don't want to waste money on the Seraph Robe because we need all of our money for other things. So the next thing I want to do is I want to check our accuracy and damage with the weapons we're currently holding. Because if, for example, the Waste Tome just like can't hit the enemy, then there's not really any reason to forge attack power onto it. In fact, I probably should not have saved, because we would be using a Ruin Tome instead anyway. I think though, I'm pretty sure like with Hex and Anathema, we can get our hit rate pretty high, but it's not. I don't think we're gonna be able to get 100% accuracy. So first of all, let's see what the skeleton of this group can do compared to the group that we were using last time. So we're gonna be using all of the same units. We need Basilio. I don't know why Henry keeps getting sent in here. Okay, we need Basilio. So we're gonna want... I think our formation on turn 1 isn't really that important, but definitely gonna want something like this. Should be fine. Let's just start with this formation and not spend a bunch of time messing with formation. And then if there's a problem with this, then we'll fix it on the next attempt. Okay, so we're gonna want these two in the front. Yeah, so this is one thing I want to test. If we can set up a situation where we can set up Vengeance for the next turn. Like, for example, this guy here. If we can draw him out and then have Tharja take damage. The problem is if she takes damage, she might not survive. But she could also gain a level, so that kind of also plays to our benefit. So these two are going to be here. we're gonna have where's Lucina? Here. Celio, just go wherever. In fact, let me just for the sake of 100% safety, let's make sure that he's close enough. Okay, Anna. Libra. My nose is very itchy today. Right here. Lisa here. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, you can move yet. Sure, why not? He doesn't move. Okay, good to know. So there's no way we can set up a situation where we have this guy damage us and then use that as a way to set up Vengeance, which I think is okay because we're going to take damage from Grima anyway. So we'll just plan around taking damage from Grima. Okay, here's the problem now. We have to do a bunch of rallying. So let's try to get all of the rallying done. So we're going to do this. Rally here. I want to make sure that we hit all of our characters that we're planning to use. We definitely need to rally strength on these characters. So you're going to rally here. The magic really only matters on you, so we can have you rally here. Okay, next we need to have these two fly up. Get rid of this guy. We can guarantee the kill with Gungnir. So we're going to do that. Okay. Next... Oh, that's right, they have Gale Force anyway. Why was I thinking I needed to rescue them? So next we're going to come down here. We're going to rally speed for these characters, although I forgot to give them speed tonics ahead of time, so I think Lon'qu is not going to double. And I'm not sure about Starry, I think she will. So for her, I just want to move forward 2 squares. Will this be close enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not actually close enough, okay. So we're going to have to do some rescue stuff, just because I didn't really do good positioning tactics. Hold on, I can do this. Rally move, we'll fix that problem. And then also, yeah, we got Rally Res and Rally Magic already. Okay. So, I did forget though, I want to move Crom up here, which I have no idea how I'm going to do that now, because I just wasted Sumia's turn. And then you can't get close enough. Yeah, you can't get close enough. Okay, there's probably still ways to fix this though, so just give me a second. So pair up here, go like this, switch, staff, rescue, Anna. Oh god, I don't know why my eyes are so sensitive this morning. I mean, they're always sensitive, but they're like really bad, particularly today. Probably just because I'm getting older, so all of my health problems are getting worse and worse over time. There's a lot of chat messages. I'm just not going to be reading every message in chat today, which is, I guess, it's kind of the standard now. I used to read every message in chat during stream. I just can't do it anymore, guys. The chat has become too active. I just can't keep up with chat and also focus on playing the game. And I would hazard a guess. I haven't really, polled anyone, but I would guess that if people, like, if we asked everyone what they would prefer, I would guess that the majority of people probably would prefer for me to focus on playing the game rather than for me to focus on reading chat and then not playing the game. But I will skim the chat really quick right now. I'm also looking at the poll. It looks like a lot of people have actually beaten the game on Lunatic Plus. It's 16% of 63 votes. So about 10 people have beaten the game on Lunatic Plus. Pretty impressive. I would hazard a guess again if I'm guessing here today. If we're doing a lot of guessing today, the audience of people who watches my videos probably contains more Lunatic Plus players than normal. Yeah, we got 72,000 gold. Yeah, Dark Fighter on Dread Fighter on Donald is pretty decent. Bride for Tharja. I think she's better in Sorcerer, honestly, but you never know. Yeah, anything that did, and I there's a reason why I didn't mention. I felt like I didn't really need to mention this in the video, but I still got comments about it anyway. This is a point by Garrett. Anything that you give to Donald, like any DLC that you give to Donald, you can just give that to someone else, and then it just, like, if they're already better than Donald, it just makes them comparatively still better than Donald. I just felt like that wasn't worth mentioning because it's self-evident, but I really should have, because honestly, people just, man, some of the comments on that video. I'll go over some of the really funny ones, I guess, since we're doing this anyway. So I got about 8 comments from people telling me that I forgot to mention something that was explicitly mentioned in the video, and that's not just one thing, that's like 8 different things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every single person who did this were like commenting different things, and then one person actually commented 2 things. They said, hey, you forgot to mention this, and you forgot to mention this, and both of the things that they said were actually mentioned in the video. Like, okay, just take a minute to unpack that. And then the other one is, what was the other one? I have it somewhere. I think it's, I don't have it in front of me right now, so I won't mention it unless I remember it. You think a Seraph Row plus an HP tonic will save him? Yeah, you would think so. We never actually checked Lon'qu's thresholds. We just identified that Grima killed him, but I think Grima had actually killed him on a critical hit. I don't think Grima actually killed him straight up. I just didn't notice that it was a crit. Oh, you think Expiration is physical? I mean, it would be 90 damage then. Expiration is physical? Okay, so it's just 90 total attack. That's enough to kill almost every character in one hit. Why do my characters not have any equipment? I just sold everything so that I could buy brave weapons. Bronze Vixen, you'd be surprised. We like to hear you yap. Oh god, why are my eyes so painful today? Oh god. And the worst thing is, usually the only thing I can do to fix this is to just close my eyes for like 5 or 10 minutes, or to sit like in a dark room for like 5 or 10 minutes, and I can't do that while I'm streaming. I can't stream with my eyes closed. Although I watched a couple of videos about blindfolded speedrunning recently, and it got me thinking about whether or not I could beat Fire Emblem Awakening blindfolded. I'm pretty sure I could. It would take like a lot of planning though, and I'm not like the kind of player who really enjoys like doing a lot of planning. I'm the kind who prefers just like playing the game and pivoting. So I'll leave it to someone else. It should be possible though. I just said everything that I just said, by the way, I said with my eyes closed, so hopefully this will help. But probably not though, because I have to keep them closed for like 10 minutes to get the pain to go away normally. Yeah, there's a lot of weird comments there. I'm sure they've added more. Actually, in fact, I would say that on the first day, the comments were really nice. They were much better than I expected. I expected a lot more negativity on the video, and the first day of the comments really showed like how like mature and intelligent and nuanced my fan base is, because like my core fan base is, because the comments that we got were on the first day were really good. Even from like the pro Donald perspective, like the comments were really, you know, well thought out and reasonable. And then over time, the quality just degraded as the video like kind of became more mainstream and more people on YouTube saw the video. Like the dumber and the dumber and dumber comments started to filter in on days 2, 3, and 4, and they also got more negative and like more hateful, which is just par for the course. But yeah, really funny stuff. I'm trying to remember what the other one was, because it's like a really funny concept. Gives a whole new meaning to blind gameplay. Yeah, I think I could do it on Lunatic. Definitely on hard. Yeah, enemies are very static in Lunatic and below, so it should be possible blindfolded. Especially because this is an execution-based game. It's not even like a technical skills-based game. So as long as you just memorize like the right button presses, it should be possible to win without messing up. You would want like good audio cues though, for just like situations that you get yourself into. Anyway, what are we doing here? Come on, just shut up. Play the game. Play the game. You're a streamer, you're here to play the game. You're not here to talk about unrelated crap. Alright, so we have 7 move now. That should be... And then also, she has +1 move. So if we stand here We should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, okay, we can go here. So all we need to do now is just rescue Crom close enough to give the benefit of charm. When we do the actual kill, we're going to route it out better than this. Actually, I mean, there's a chance this group might be able to get the kill. I don't think so, but you never know. Alright, I'm going to put Crom right next to them. Now we're going to go... We need to stand next to Owain, is that correct? Yes, we're going to stand next to Owain. We're going to go here. You know what else I could do? This is a situation where I could actually set up Vengeance. I can set up Vengeance right now if I wanted to by attacking an enemy who can hit me. But I have to do it when I'm in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like I could do it from this tile here and let this guy with the longbow hit me. Although he might not actually hit me, which would present a problem. I know he's guaranteed to hit me. So okay, so let's calculate how much damage Grima is going to do to us. So it's going to be 90 damage, and I guess it's physical, which actually plays to our strengths because we have more physical defense. So 90 minus 29 minus 7 is 54 damage. So 65 minus 54 is 11. So we can really only afford to go into this fight with 11 damage on us. So it's probably not worth trying to set up Vengeance because we'd have to do it against an enemy who only deals 11 damage to us. Which is probably not going to be anyone. Yeah, I mean it would have to be this guy, but it's not this guy. So we'll just stick with the original plan for now. So we're gonna go. Let me just triple check. This is definitely for sure we can dance in that position. So we're gonna go here, and if we mess it up, we can just have Leader rescue anyway. Okay. So first things first, I want to see the accuracy of the Waste Tome. It's atrocious. Okay, good to know. Still might be worth doing, just because it's going to bait in. Okay, well that's definitely not going to be worth it, because the Brave Axe deals 0 damage. We can definitely buff the Brave Axe though, but it looks like... Is it? So, we'd honestly have to do some calculations to figure out what is going to be the best damage. Did we get our Rally Strength? That's even with Rally Strength. Oh my god. No, we didn't Rally Strength because they're out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, yeah, they were in range when you Rallied Strength. So yeah, our Robin is just like really horribly trained. I think this is a plus defense minus luck Robin. And we didn't level him very much either after we promoted him to hero. We leveled him a lot in base classes, and then we promoted him to hero, and then we just basically pivoted into using Tharja, and we just never leveled him up again after that. I've been thinking about doing some Fates streaming, maybe, in the coming weeks. I'm going to get back to it. I don't think I'm going to continue the Lunatic mode. The Conquest route that we were doing. There's a couple reasons for it. I wasn't really having fun, and for those of you who watched my my recent streams, I kept it secret for a while. I didn't really talk about it on stream, but I did eventually mention on stream that my mother passed away, and she picked one of the characters for that run, and I just don't really want to play it anymore because of that. It is what it is, but I'd rather just not go back to that, just because I don't want to. Some people would do it the other way. They'd be like, oh well, now like I want to do it, you know. But for my case, I just don't want to because it just makes me remember that stuff. But I kind of want to play Revelations. That would be fun. Not very many people play or stream Revelations, although also if I stream Revelations, it's probably not going to get as many views. Whereas if I stream Conquest, it'll definitely get views. I could also stream Birthright. I think Birthright is the route that I actually personally find the most fun, and I have the most experience with. I reclassed back to level 1 hero at some point. I don't even think I did. Maybe I did though, but either way, this is a very under-leveled Robin. Like, look at our stats. We have 35 strength compared to 38 on Nowi, and 30 on, like, Lon'qu has bad strength, and he has 30 strength. Like, if we had trained this Robin, they would have capped strength by now. We just haven't really been training them. Any of our characters. Like, Tharja should have capped magic. She should have capped strength. Like, we just haven't trained our characters the way that we should. These weapons, because we just do not have the firepower. So, can we at least deal damage with Hellswath? We can at least deal damage with Hellswath. We're just going to have to do this for now. So let's do some math. Let's do some math. So 79% chance to dual strike and a 59% chance to hit. 4 times. Okay. It feels like this is just more complicated than what I know how to process. So if we attack with waste, we're essentially dealing. Let's calculate what this is worth. So this is worth 5 times 0.51. This is worth 2.55 damage. 4 times, which is equal to 10.2 damage, and then 0.79 times, what is it? 0.8 0.87 times. It's actually not going to deal any damage, but let's pretend that it's going to deal 3 damage. Excuse me. Times 3. It would deal 2 times 4. 8 damage. So that would be 18. And then if we use Fall Flame, we would be dealing 10 times 0.86, which is 8.6 damage, times 2, which is actually 17.2 damage. So it definitely deals more damage at just attacking straight up with Vol Flame because of the better accuracy and the higher damage. The problem is forging flat damage gets better with Brave weapons, and also we're going to be getting 4 chances to dual strike with Robin, as opposed to only 2 chances, which means only 4 damage, which equals 21.2. So it's really 21 versus 18. So it gets closer, and then once we start forging damage onto these, in fact, we can just calculate exactly what that's going to be. So let's pretend. Well, no, because we have to factor in the accuracy, so we're going to have to calculate it from scratch. So let's do 15 times 0.86, 12.9 times 2 is 25. So we'll pretend that's 25.8. And then with the other one, it would be 10 times 0.51, which is 5.1 times 4, which is 20.4 damage. So now it's only... So it was 7 points of damage behind, then it becomes only 5 points of damage behind. And then on top of that, you're getting 4 dual strikes from Robin. I guess the question is, can Robin actually damage Grima with the Brave Axe? And I think the answer is no. Because we can forge 5 points of might onto it, but then we're losing the 5 points that we're not going to have from Tharja's parrot bonus, which is... Why is she giving +5 strength, by the way? There's something going on here. Does he already have the strength tonic? But even then... So what? Why is he getting +5 strength from her? I'm missing something here. There's something I'm missing that I'm not... I mean, it has to be the strength tonic. And then what else? Oh, that's Axe Fair. I mean, I'm a complete idiot. No, that's not Axe Fair. Robin doesn't have Axe Fair. So what are they getting +5 strength from? I just don't... I'm not... Someone tell me. Oh, that's from Rally Strength. Okay, so that's not going to go away. Okay, so that's not going to go away. Okay, so it's going to be 53. So they have 50 defense. Why are we dealing 0 damage then? We should be dealing 3 damage with the Brave Axe. 53 attack minus 50. Oh, it's cut in half. I guess more than half. So that's the other question: is what does this stupid dragon skin actually do? Because it seems like it's cutting my damage by more than half, which the description does say more than half, but that's not very specific. Like, what does that actually mean? Like, how much is it cutting our damage? Is it cutting it to 1/3 or something? It just says half damage. So we should be dealing 1.5 damage, which should be getting rounded down to 1. But that's not happening. Oh, it's because of Pavis Plus. Pavis Plus is cutting it. Okay, I see what's happening. Pavis Plus is cutting it to 1.5. So we're dealing 3 damage. It's getting cut to what? No, it's getting cut to 1.5. So it should display as 1 damage times 2, but it's not. So something is happening here. Something's missing. Oh, so Tharja is giving 1. Okay, so no, that's the same problem. 2 damage should be getting cut to 1, which should be displayed as 1 damage. Terrain bonus. Okay, that's it. Thank you. They have, oh, an extra 3, so they effectively have 53 defense. Okay, thank you guys. So if we forge 5 might onto the Brave Axe, it should deal 4 damage per hit. So we can count on 4 damage per hit, basically. Or at least 86% of 4 damage per hit. So it's actually higher than what we were thinking. So it's going to be 4 times 4 or 4 times 2. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. I think that's where we're going to make up the damage. So it's going to be 20 plus 16, which is 36, versus 25 plus 8, which is 33. So using the brave weapons is actually better for expected damage, even with the lower accuracy. And then if we high roll and we land all of our attacks, it's definitely going to be more damage. So waste is absolutely the way to go on our final build. It's not going to be the way to go on this build because we haven't forged the weapons yet. So without the forges, these weapons are better, just because they actually have the damage to hit. So we're going to go like this. We're going to have to deal with some extreme lag here. Particle effect lag. I am Grima, I am despair. Thank you guys for helping me with the calcs. There's always going to be stuff that I'm going to miss. Actually, it's not lagging very much at all. It's pretty much always going to proc Ignis, so you have to plan for that. So I think what happened is Lon'qu actually got crit. Now, Vengeance there is pretty big. That's going to add 25-ish damage. No. And then unfortunately we level up afterwards, which doesn't really help us. Okay, so even without forged weapons, we were able to deal around 35 damage, which is pretty good. We could add like an extra, let's say 20 damage to that. Well, maybe 10 to 20 damage with forges. So that's we could deal about half of their health. Then we go up here, and then the good thing is both of these characters benefit from Rally Strength, which is good. Unfortunately, their accuracy is probably not fantastic. Unfortunately, they're also not really dealing very much damage at all. But again, if we add forges here, we might be able to bump the numbers up. So I want to see if we survive this with Ignis. The problem is I can't tell if they're critting or not. Like, is that a crit or not? I have no idea. Because if we do get crit, then Nowi doesn't get to attack, and that kind of matters. Because we're missing 7 of our attacks. So I think we need to find a way to make Lon'qu survive. But I feel like we're not getting crit. So we need to be able to take 63 damage. I think we can actually take 63. I think we can actually take 63. Hold on a second. That was 63, right? $63 is a regular hit with Ignis. Okay, so we can. I think we can survive that. I think we can get us effective HP above 63. Yeah, for sure we can. So we would do HP tonic. We're gonna need that Seraph robe though, so unfortunately we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go back in time. Well, HP tonic plus Seraph robe only puts him at 61. A res tonic would put him at exactly 63, and then we could also give him talismans to boost it even further. So it should be 1 talisman, 1 Seraph robe, 1 HP tonic. But unfortunately now that means we're going to have to go back to our original save. We're going to have to mess around with the clock. We're going to have to do all our shopping again. Should have just bought the Seraph robe. Defense tonic, yeah, thank you. Okay, we're gonna have to... actually, we don't have to reset now. We can just play from here. It's a physical... Yeah, I keep thinking it's a magical attack. It's a physical attack. Thank you, guys. Interesting that we didn't get the same shop as last time. I wonder why that happened. That's actually really interesting. I was under the impression that the shop is, like, always locked in. But the guy didn't appear to block the shop. Even though that was definitely locked in on the save file that we were using. It seems like... I think copying your save file and saving to a new slot maybe fixes the map? I'm not sure. That's really interesting. That's really interesting, because we just reloaded our save and we caused the enemies to not appear on the map where they were pretty much guaranteed to appear. Okay, the only thing now is we have to make sure that Seraph Robe is actually still for sale. And... it is. Okay, we can get the Seraph Robe and we can get the Waste Tome.
Take your time.
I wish I could sell this stuff faster. The good thing is we did confirm that we don't really need any more weapons other than what we brought with us last time. I'm gonna sell the Soul and the Amatsu just because they're getting my way. They're like blocking my view of the other weapons that I actually want to use and want to sell. Okay, so that should be enough to buy the items that we need from here. We need a Waste Tome. I'm gonna give it to Tharja. So, no, where is she? Her inventory's full, okay. We need a Waste Tome, we need a Seraph Robe. This should cover our bases. Yeah, we have a very weak team. Extremely weak team. Alright, after that, we're going to store everything. Then we're going to take out the Waste Tome. The good thing is we already calculated that this is the best method to attack, so we can just use this as our method of attack. I think Strength and Magic Tonics should go on to Tharja and Robin, because I believe they're going to have maybe the highest... Actually, I'm not sure. Lon'qu might be better than Robin. I can also change around Robin's skills, because Robin has a couple of extra skills. They might have... No, never mind. Soul's not going to matter. Yeah, nobody really has any skills that can be swapped out that are going to matter. Okay, I was wrong about that. Okay, anyway, let's go back to where they sell brave weapons. Where do they sell brave weapons? Right here. And we're going to buy them for the characters who want them. It's going to be you. Brave Axe. Maybe we use a Brave Sword for it. No, we don't need accuracy, because we can just reset until we get the kill. So Brave Axe here. Brave Bow here. And Brave Axe here as well. Okay. Then we have to make sure that Lucina has a Parallel Falchion, and we need them to have the U-Fel. And then Cynthia needs to have Gungnir for the +5 strength. Then I'm gonna pass around my stabs. We didn't end up needing any healing stabs, so I'm not gonna keep any. I'm just gonna do rescue stabs. So Lisa, Owain, Libra, Anna, that should be everyone. Okay, make sure we're not saving over our original slot. So everyone is holding a weapon that needs to hold one. And everyone is holding a rescue staff that needs to hold one. Next, I'm going to... I suspect that Robin's dual strike rate is higher, but I'm not 100% sure about that. They're actually... it's actually kind of funny. They're actually exactly equal. Robin has the same amount of skill as Lon'qu, and Nowi has the same amount of skill as Tharja. So they actually have the same dual strike rate, other than the parrot partner bonuses, which means that... does hero give skill? I don't remember. It's kind of an inconsequential stat, so it's not one that's typically on my mind. Hero does give skill. Okay, so in this case then, these Robin and Tharja are going to have the higher dual strike chance, so I think we should be forging, or so we should be giving energy drops to Robin, because they're more likely to land their attacks. So let's give Lon'qu the HP tonic, the Seraph robe, defense tonic, and then Draco shield. This should allow them to survive exactly. So nobody else needs anything else like for survival purposes. What we do need are a bunch of strength and magic tonics. So what we need, you need a magic tonic, the other ones need strength tonics. I'm also going to do skill tonics, just to increase our dual strike and our crit chance and our skill activation rates. We don't need any of those. Does anyone know where the skill tonics are? Here they are.
I carry only the finest.
Skill, skill, skill. And then we need a couple of strength tonics.
What can I fix
Just
you
2
with?
more, I think. Okay. The reason I'm doing this first is so that I can just quickly sell everything else in the convoy. So Robin should be using a strength tonic. And then I'm going to give them all of the energy drops. Unless they cap. Yeah. So they were pretty far away from their cap. That says a lot about how undertrained our team is. We're going to give her... we gave her the magic tonic already. Oh, skill tonics. Give Robin a skill tonic too. Don't forget to do that. Skill tonic. Tharja should have magic tonic, a skill tonic. Now we're going to give her all of the spirit dust. Unless she caps. Okay, she's capped, so she doesn't need any more. We can give her the secret book as well. For vengeance, dual strikes, and crits. Excuse me. Nowi needs a strength tonic, a skill tonic. I can't remember if the speed tonic was necessary. I don't think... Does the speed tonic put you over the cap? I can't remember. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we'll use that. I don't think we need it, but might as well. Same with Lon'qu. We'll give him a speed tonic, skill tonic, strength tonic. Okay, do we have any other stat boosters that matter? Not really. Speed wing's not needed. Spirit dust doesn't help anymore. Draco shield. I mean, we'll keep this in case Lon'qu is still getting killed, but I don't think he'll get killed. I think we're fine now. Get over to the middle of the map. I wish there was more connections. Okay, so we're gonna save with all of our stat boosters set up. Let me know in chat if I missed anything. I'm gonna be scanning chat periodically just in case I missed something. We're gonna do our forges after we sell everything, obviously. Bronze Vixen, you were really surprised at how useful Lon'qu has been during this run. I planned on him being a major cornerstone of this run, but he still exceeded my expectations. He has really shown himself to be a fantastic unit, even on the highest difficulty mode. I am extremely impressed with Lon'qu here. You think it's easy to double Grima unless you're Donald with a negative speed cap? Fair. Invalid. You know you're optimizing for the final battle when you drink luck tonics. Now, I'm not drinking luck tonics. I will if I absolutely have to, but I don't think I'll have to. The question is now, if we do all of this and we still can't get the kill, that's gonna kind of put us in a little bit of a situation. Because then we're gonna have to figure out how can we get the kill if we can't do it this way. And it will probably mean we'll have to do something with Kron. We'll have to use the Falchion. Or Lucina with the Exalted Falchion. Because if we can get Lon'qu to survive attack, we can absolutely get Lucina and Cynthia to survive an attack. Because Lon'qu is like one of the most frail characters in the game. But yeah, let me know if I missed anything on the tonics and stat boosters. I don't think I missed anything. I think I used all the ones that could be used. Remember, Tharja's magic is already capped. That's why we can't raise it any higher. But yeah, equipping and using all of the items we wanted to use ahead of time allows me to sell everything more quickly than I was doing before, which is nice. And I'm gonna hope that we're gonna have enough to get like some good forges down. The problem is forging these weapons is pretty expensive. But the forges alone are gonna add a pretty decent amount of damage, especially when you factor in the chances for crits and things like that. Although I think our crit chances ended up being pretty low. Not as high as I would have liked. Again, I'm even just going to sell Vault Flame just to get it out of the way so it's not blocking my view of the other items that I'm actually trying to use. They had a big tonic chugging party before Grima teleported them. Or sorry, before Naga teleported them onto Grima's back. Yeah, I could definitely see us potentially using a Ruin strategy, but I just don't think the damage from Ruin is going to outdamage the double attack from Waste. But I don't know, because triple damage is actually better than double damage, right? But then the problem is, when you do that, you're losing out on Robin's chance to dual strike multiple additional extra times. So I don't know, man, it's really tough to figure out. Keep in mind also, last time we didn't use any tonics or stat boosters, so in addition to forging the weapons, we're also going to have like a couple extra points of damage from tonics and stat boosters. Okay, we're getting down to the wire here. We got almost nothing left to sell. So if we don't have enough for the forges that we want to use, this is going to be a problem. I'm going to keep that one Draco shield just in case we need it. Chris's Confect I don't think we can use on top of whatever we've already used, but... Okay, I'm going to save now. And then we're going to see how much these forges cost.
What can I fix you with?
So the most important one is probably this. You could make an argument for Robin's being more... In fact, I'm going to make a pretty strong argument for Robin's being more important, because I've already written down these numbers. So Robin's expected damage is actually higher than Tharja's. Maybe it was what? It was like 0.8 times 0.8 times... I don't know. I'm pretty sure our expected damage is higher, though, because our accuracy is so much higher than hers. Let's just see how much expensive this is. Oh, it's only 10,000 per. We can actually forge all of these. No, it's 16,000 per. Oh god, excuse me, guys. Acid reflux moment. It actually might even be worth forging crit. But that gets into the realm of being, like, very expensive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 10,000 on each weapon first. No. And then I'm going to see how much more I can afford to do. I guess that's 12,000. That's fine. $11,000. So yeah, the price varies because of the weapon bases having different prices. And then Robin... Braveaxe. Okay, so this leaves us with a good chunk of money left over. I'm actually going to do an experimental run with this setup. This is going to give us a good idea of like how close we are, and then if we're like really close, we can forge like a couple of extra points of damage onto these. Mostly because I want to see if forging Might onto Robin or Tharja is more cost effective, or even, for example, Lon'qu. Because we can check the expected damage of each of these characters, and once we know that information, we can see whose forges are more valuable. Now that, especially because now they actually are dealing enough damage to the point where, like, we're actually, you know, we're dealing measurable damage to Grima. So we can make calculations based on that information, which we couldn't really do before, because our characters were dealing like 0 damage, so it was tough to know like who's actually dealing more damage than who. Alright, I just want to make sure we've got everyone in like good enough positions. Should be fine. We can just use rescue staves to fix our positioning next turn if we need to. What are you asking about for hit rate? I don't think increasing the hit rate is going to be better than increasing the damage, but I guess we can check that. I strongly suspect that forging... I don't know. Maybe hit rate would actually... In the case of the Waste Tome particularly, because her hit is so bad, maybe it's worth it. But it's... The thing is, we can just keep resetting until we hit. So there's no real reason... There's no benefit to forging hit rate outside of an Iron Man context. And even then, it would only be if it was, like, guaranteeing the hit chance. Okay. You two... Get up here. You two. Here. We need Basilio up here for next turn. Yeah, we can actually pull her forward this turn. I have to be careful though, because we have to make sure we don't block the tiles where I want the rally characters to stand. And this is like a very minor optimization for 1 point of movement. Yeah, I sold the legendary weapons just to unclog my inventory. You have to keep in mind, I'm trying to keep track of like every single item that my characters are holding. You know what I mean? So I just can't afford to just sit here and yeah. By the way, actually, technically, we can stand in this tile without getting attacked. Now that I think about it, I just thought about that. I just came to that realization. Is that useful information? I'm not sure. But it is something that we can do. I don't know if our positioning is as good as last time, but it's going to have to be what it is. Okay, so let's start with our rallies that we know that we're going to be using. Owain can rally from this position because he doesn't need to hit everyone. I guess here is the best position, but then, like I said, I want to make sure I don't accidentally block all my tiles that I'm using to rally for other characters who need it even more. Basilio here should work. Noir here. Then we're gonna get rid of this guy. Oh yeah, this is definitely worse than last time. This is actually bad. This is not a guaranteed kill anymore. We did get the kill, but that could have ended much worse. I gotta be very careful about what I'm doing with Lucina and Cynthia. So then they come back over here and they rally speed. Okay. Now we're going to rally movement for a bunch of characters. This. Okay, so she should be able to reach this tile here, where Lon'qu can attack with the Brave Bow. Unfortunately, I cannot get her combat statistics, but we can get them based on Lon'qu's though. So Lon'qu has 4 damage, 62% hit rate. Man, that's not very good. It's going to be higher though with yeah. Let's wait. We know they can reach. It's going to be higher once we have Hex and Anathema in play. I think it might even be 100%. And that's a pretty big difference. So if we go here, wait, dance, you go up here. Now we need to get Chrom up here first, because that should increase our hit rate. If he has... Pretty sure he has Charm equipped. Charm is not just adjacent, is it? Even if it is adjacent, we can get adjacent. I think it's within 3 tiles. Yeah, it's within 3 spaces. So we can give her an extra 5 hit, which kind of matters with margins these thin. That's going to put us up to 57 displayed, which is even a little bit better. It's going to be like, I think around 60% per hit, which is significantly better than what we were doing before. Unfortunately, I really don't like how the crit rates are so low. They're lower than I would like. And the hit rates aren't really perfect either, but they're good enough. They're good enough. Okay, so let's get Chrom up there. Okay. So they have... So I'm going to redo all my calcs now, because this is going to be important for figuring out. Tharja has 9 attack times 0.57 accuracy. Robin has 0.81. Six attack times 0.9 times 0.81. Now granted, the accuracy checks are higher than the displayed hit rates, which we can definitely get into like the weeds on that information. But let's start with this. This is going to deal a lot more than what we did last time, unless we just get really unlucky and miss all of our attacks, which is always possible, of course. But last time we did, what was it, around 40 damage? I think less than 40. I think we calced that we could do around 45 with Forges. So Vengeance proc there unfortunately doesn't matter, especially with the miss. What we really want is Vengeance to proc after we get hit with Expiration. We are missing our Vengeance attacks, that is definitely a concern. We did not want the dual guard, that really sucks. That kills a lot of our damage. But this is one of those things, like I said, like where we can reset over and over again until we get the outcome that we want. If we had not dual guarded there, if we had taken the damage, we would have dished out so much more with those Vengeance procs. So yeah, we lost a lot of damage because of that dual guard. That's the kind of thing where we're just going to have to reset to like not dual guard so that we make sure we do get Vengeance procs. Next up, we're going to have to extrapolate Nowi's combat, but we can get Lon'qu's. So Lon'qu is 4 damage times 0.92. And I'm pretty sure Tharja did less damage than expected, by the way. She was expected to land at least 2 attacks. More likely 3 attacks than 1, but she only landed 1 attack. So we got very unlucky on our accuracy checks on that attempt. Grima would be on like 51 HP if we had gotten the expected accuracy. And 99 minus 51 is 48, so we actually still would have dealt more damage if we just didn't get accuracy screwed there. Anyway, so set 0.79. So yeah, the dual strike chance on this group is slightly lower. Good to know, I guess. So she has 9 more attack than Lon'qu, although that's not true, because she's getting some attack from him. She's getting 3 attack from him. So 67. So she's going to have 6 more damage to him, so 10 damage times... I can confirm that this is actually true. Her accuracy is... minus... I don't know exactly how much accuracy she's losing. Let's say 10. That's an overestimate, but... 6 accuracy. So... 0.84, we'll say. That's an estimate, but it's good enough. Okay, so our expected damages are 9 times 0.57. So, wow, that's not very much at all. Sorry, it should be dealing around 5 damage on average. That seems lower than I expected. Why is that so low? Oh, because I'm not factoring in the number of times they're attacking, of course. I'm an idiot. 4 times. That makes way more sense. Okay. This makes way more sense. Times 4, 20.52. Okay, Robin should be 4 times 6. So yeah, we were expected to deal 20 damage with Tharja, we only dealt 9. And actually we should be dealing way more because of Vengeance. But because of that dual guard, it just screwed us over. We ended up dealing no Vengeance damage. Robin is actually the higher damage dealer here with 21.6 damage over Tharja because the accuracy is so much better. 4 times 4 times 0.92 is 14.72. So Lon'qu is not anywhere near the other two in terms of damage. And Nowi is 4 times 10 times 0.84 times 0.79, which is, that's not it. No, that's not it. 4 times 10 times 0.84 times 0.79, which is actually 26 damage. Nowi is actually our highest damage dealer. Keep in mind that's based on extrapolated information. I'm not 100% sure that's actually correct. But we're going to confirm that now because we're going to see if she actually deals 10 damage or not. We might have enough damage to secure the kill here because Nowi might actually be our strongest damage dealer. Also, we're going to see what lethality does against Grima, which is nothing. Okay. So that is really good confirmation. Okay, so yeah, she's not dealing as much as I thought. She's only dealing 5 damage. Can we survive Ignis? Yes. Honestly, a single Vengeance proc would seal this. Lon'qu could also crit. Nowi could crit. Yeah, we could get this without even forging any additional damage. But let me calculate Nowi's damage now. So 4 times 5 times 0.84 times 0.79 is actually 13. Okay, so this makes more sense. 13.72 damage. Okay, so the next thing I want to check, the Draco Shield did it. I'm losing 15 from support bonuses and everything else. This chapter is a nightmare without the Exalted Falchion. Honestly, for me, this is not a nightmare. This is extremely fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, even though it's taking a long time. And I don't know if everyone finds it as interesting as I personally do, but for me, this is really fun. Especially because we're basically calculating that with a not optimal team on the hardest difficulty mode ever made, without any fully trained characters, we can still set up a kill against a fairly reliable kill against Grima. They should be on 10 HP right now, and then if we had just not dual guarded and gotten a single Vengeance proc, they would be dead right now. They would already be dead. And we didn't even spend all of our money yet. So let's go back. Let's spend all of our money yet. Yeah, we should also factor in the 2RN as well, because that's going to actually increase our damage significantly. Because all of our attacks are more likely to hit than what I'm saying that they are. They're actually more likely. Brave weapons are doing pretty close to what the Exalted Falchion would be doing. If only we can get Tharja to hit. Yeah, that's the other thing too. She could hit 3 times or even 4 times instead of only hitting 2 times. I don't think there's any way to improve her accuracy anymore, other than, I guess, giving her secret books, which I think we already used all of them. Yeah. So unfortunately, there's no way to improve her accuracy any higher than what it currently is, other than forging accuracy onto the Waste Tome. So here's the question. Is forging might or is forging accuracy better? I don't know. So we know the damage is going to get cut in half. That's actually a really good point. We know her damage is going to get cut in half. It's currently an odd number, but we don't know. I don't know what Grima's defense number is though. It's her resistance is 30. Okay, so 65 minus 30 is 35 damage. You cut that in half, you get 17.5, which I think rounds down to 17 damage. So if we increase our damage to 36, and then cut that in half, we'll be dealing 18 damage. So we can get 1 extra point of damage. So now I'm going to calculate damage versus hit rate.
What can I fix you with?
Also, I think technically Robin is our strongest damage dealer, but we're not really going to open that can of worms. I want to do this puzzle for Tharja first, because this is fun math for me. I talked about before how I haven't really used my calculator ever since I graduated from university. The main thing I use my calculator for is playing video games, which is really funny. Okay, so let me just kind of calculate what each of these things are worth. Although I think in a vacuum, like 1 point actually changes what it's worth based on what the other values are. But either way, we know that we can increase our might by 1, and it actually does give us 1 extra attack. So that would be 4 times 10 times 0.57, and that would be... It would actually be faster if I just set up a spreadsheet for this. 22.8. The other option would be increasing our accuracy by 5, which would be 4 times 9 times 0.62, which would be 22.32. So yeah, actually increasing our damage increases our damage more than increasing our accuracy does. And with that in mind, I'm pretty sure crit is better than hit. The reason, well, I mean, it's a small chance to triple our damage. But if it happens, it spikes our damage to the point where it just guarantees a kill. But I think the best thing to do is just Forge Might onto her. Forge Might onto Robin first. So we start with that. Then I think I want to Forge Might and crit onto Lon'qu, because I want him to get as much of this as possible. So if possible, I want Lon'qu to be the one who lands like a critical hit, you know, killing strike. And this maximizes our odds of that happening. This might not be the best use of our money, but it should make the kill possible. So let me save. Then we're gonna go here. We're gonna Forge Lon'qu crit. Because if I'm not mistaken, this game does not unfairly punish critical hits like the way Fates does with their version of Dragon Skin. I believe this just halves the damage, but it doesn't give an additional penalty to critical hits. I can Forge hit. Yeah, it's just not worth it. I just calculated that. Red Watcher, you think it would be super easy to second seal Crom into Great Knight and dual strike with the Falchion? Fair skills would also help out a lot. Yeah, we actually don't have any fair skills on any of our main attackers. We don't have Bow Fair, we don't have Axe Fair, we don't have Axe Fair, and we don't have Tome Fair. This is another, I talked about this in the Donald video. Giving up Axe Fair makes your character's endgame performance a lot worse, which we're definitely seeing here. For all of the people, I got so many comments from people talking about how, oh, Arms Thrift is good because you get to, you know, keep Hellswath, and guess what? Even with Hellswath, you're going to end up with a Donald that looks like this, or worse, because they're going to have a worse speed cap, which means they're not going to be able to double Grima without like a really good speed pair up, and then they're not going to have Axe Fair, which is going to cause them to run into the problem we're running into, which is that we don't have enough damage. So yeah, Donald is at the very worst, or at the very best, he's like, he can become like as good as these characters, but in a lot of cases he's going to be worse because of his really bad endgame caps. He's not going to be able to have as much speed as these characters. I mean, maybe as much as Robin does, but definitely not as much as Tharja and Lon'qu. So he's not going to be doubling them. Maybe he can reach 41 speed. But either way, then he's going to need like a really good speed pair up. So I don't know. But point being, the fair skills are really useful, and you're seeing the fact that we don't have them here, which is causing all kinds of problems for us. Alright, you don't need to be anywhere nearby. But who actually needs to be any closer than those ones? We needed to make sure that, yeah, Cynthia and Lucina were actually near the front. That's where I messed up last time. Also, I'm saving after forging the crit anyway. Hello, Duke Nuka. Welcome to the stream. Akimbo Fernape says, Tharm's Drift is a skill for cheapskates. Fortunately, I am a cheapskate, yeah. I mean, I don't even think it's a bad skill, don't get me wrong, but I do think it's overrated. People, they just go so far out of their way to, like, make these Arms Drift builds that it just doesn't matter. Like, we just gave every single character in our army who matters a max forged brave weapon. Like, what would Arms Thrift do in addition to what we've already done? Like, what would Arms Thrift do that we haven't already done? Like, explain it to me. Explain what Arms Thrift would do. That puts us on a higher level than we can already kill Grima with what we have. So what is Arms Thrift doing on top of that? Like, what additional value is it adding? The answer is none. Fair skills would actually be doing something for us. They would be giving us 5 extra damage so that we don't have to spend 50,000 gold forging +5 attack onto our brave weapons, because we would just have +5 attack. Imagine that. Imagine just having +5 attack without having to spend tens of thousands of gold. Okay, I've said enough. Get over here, Robin. So this square is actually safe, so we're going to hold this position. And we want Lucina and Cynthia to actually be up here. That way they can run into the position I need them to be in next turn. Severa is actually not really doing anything, but we don't have a better character to replace her with. So I guess it doesn't matter. I'd like for you to move Olivia closer to the front. Yeah, even on Lunatic, he's pretty bad. I hate to say it. Actually, I don't hate to say it. I love to say it. Well, I hate to say it in the sense that I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over again. Oh, God. And yet we're back here doing the same thing as always. I'm trying to figure out how to kind of just get these characters into better positions. I think our positioning is better than last attempt. So this should pretty much, unless Tharja misses like all 4 of her attacks, this should be like a guaranteed finisher now. And we also want to not dual guard against Grima. That would be great, but we can't really control for that. Alright, so we definitely need to rally for these 2. I'd like to also rally for our staff users if possible, which we can do. Unfortunately, we can't hit Libra this time because my positioning is slightly worse on that front. In that sense, maybe it's better to do... Oh yeah, this is better. So go like this, rally here. This gets 2 of our staff users. Then we need to rally strength for everyone. It does hit all my characters that I care about. Rally skill for everyone. Oh, we didn't rally luck last time. That actually helps a little bit. Rally here. And we still have Lisa for rescue that we didn't end up using last time, so we should have enough rescues. Okay, I think that's all of our rallies. Now we need to rally move. Make sure to do it in a way that we hit Olivia. There you go. Okay, so you 2 go up here. Yes, this allows them to attack at 1 range, which actually doesn't matter this time, because he has counter. So we have to attack at 2 range anyway. Which means we're going to have to rely on crits, dual strikes, and Aether procs, which we got. Okay, now we have to make sure that we rally speed for everyone who matters, which we can do very easily by going right back to our original position. Okay, next up, I want to make sure that we get Tharja into a position where she can do her thing. Let's just put her parallel to this guy. I did rally luck, yes, okay. So you... Okay, we can actually do this with 1 rescue staff, I'm pretty sure. We just pull Crom up here. We can just put him right here. Okay. And then these 2 are close enough. Yes, just barely. Yes. So we're gonna go into one range. Brave Axe. So our attack has gone up a decent amount. This is the big one. So now we're dealing 10 damage per hit. We got 4 chances. Our hit chance is higher. I think that luck. No, I don't think anything changed. It's still. What was it last time? Last time it was 57. Now it's 61. So yeah, it did go up somehow. I guess luck maybe. Does luck factor into hit? I actually don't know. Yeah, it does actually. So we gained two points of hit, which increased us from somehow that increased us from 57 to 61. I don't know how. Just Crom just hanging out here in between a bunch of high level endgame enemies. Sorry, I'm trying to, let me pop out the chat window. This is getting annoying. I hate the new YouTube studio, guys. It's horrible. Pop out the chat window. By the way, I was going to say this at the beginning of the stream. I guess almost 2 hours into the stream is a good time to say it. On Monday, before I did my wizardry stream, which I think was this week. God, I'm so burned out right now. I'm pretty sure I did a wizardry stream this week, which not very many people watch, but that's fine. I did some changes. I contacted my ISP. We did a couple things, and I also did some changes on my PC that I think have fixed the lag, the persistent lag that I've been experiencing for the last month and a half, 2 months. And nobody during that stream was getting any lag when they were watching it. So I think I fixed the problem. I forgot to ask today, but I don't think anyone has complained about any lag today. I don't think we've been experiencing any lag with today's stream. Oh, Rally Luck plus Rally Skill, yeah. Well, no, because we did Rally Skill last time, though. That's the thing. We already had Rally Skill last time, so I'm not sure why our hit rate went up by 4 points instead of by 2 points. I know Rally Skill gives a bonus, but we had Rally Skill already last time, guys. I'm trying to find out why the plus 4 luck from Rally Luck. Oh, you know why? It's because Rally Luck gives more than 4 luck. I think it gives 8 luck in this game. Let me confirm that. Yeah, it actually, yeah, Rally Luck gives 8 luck. That's why we got plus 4 hit. It's because we got it plus 8 luck. See, I know what I'm talking about. Hello, Chris and Graham. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, there's no lag today. So yeah, we definitely fixed it. No, guys, we had Charm last time. The only thing that changed is that we added Rally Luck. I was trying to figure out why Rally Luck gave 4 points instead of 2 points. The reason is because it gives 8 luck. Alright, let's go. So we should get much better. We should get better luck than last time. We got really bad luck. We only landed 1 waste instead of 2, and we also didn't get any vengeance damage, which severely decreased our damage output. Okay, we're proccing vengeance very consistently. The endgame music for Charm is so iconic. Okay, we don't need vengeance procs here. We need vengeance procs after this. We need Grima to hit us now, please. Don't block, Robin. Don't block, don't block, don't block. Okay, we're good. Now we just need a vengeance proc. There we go. That's gonna be killer damage. Unless we miss. Great. That was the worst attack in the entire chain to miss, but you know what? We're in a better position than last time. We chipped them down for significantly more. So now we dealt 60 damage. Now we just need Lon'qu to come in and clean up. And he has a really good chance to crit. And what I want to check now, I want to confirm if our crit damage gets nullified. Excuse me, oh my god. If our crit damage gets affected by Dragon Skin. So we should be dealing 4 damage on a regular attack and 12 damage on a crit. This is going to confirm for me whether or not the wiki knows what it's talking about. We have to land a crit, but we have a pretty decent chance of doing so. We got lethality. That doesn't matter. Other than just looking cool. Okay, we should survive on 2. Oh, dodge. Even better. Okay, here we go. 12 damage, 12 damage, 12 damage. Okay, the wiki's right, and that was the most epic finisher. Oh my god. Lon'qu dodging into killing on a crit. Come on, you cannot... I could not have planned that better. I could not have... You couldn't make a better episode of television, okay? That was fantastic. That was awesome. The Lon'qu dodge into the Lon'qu crit. What a way to end the run.
Right.
Now, Ellery, this is our chance. I'm going to finish it. Sure, why not? Yeah, rallies are incredibly powerful, especially when you're using brave weapons. We're doubling, and keep in mind, like, our accuracy matters. So, like, we're doubling the bonuses that we're giving to accuracy. We're doubling the bonuses that we're giving to magic. We're doubling the bonuses that we're getting to our dual strike chances, to our skill activation chances, to our crit chances. And even though Tharja fumbled on the Vengeance proc, we got the crit with Lon'qu anyway. The absolute goat of this run. This guy was goated, okay? Whenever people talk about how Lunatic Plus can only be played one way, you have to play with this very stagnant meta where you just do everything with Robin and Chrom, it's over, okay? There is video evidence. You guys are just wrong. You're just wrong, okay? You can play Lunatic Plus however you want. You can play it the same way that you would play any video game, any other Fire Emblem game, as long as you actually take the time to learn the game and understand what you're doing, you can play Lunatic Plus. Anyone can do it. You can get to the end of the game with a crappy team that was not planned out and not trained properly, and you can still kill Grima with Lon'qu, okay? Without capped strength. Lon'qu, who didn't even have capped strength, or bow fair, or sword fair, or any damage proc skills. The only thing we had was lethality, which is blocked by Dragon Skin. Bronze Vixen, you're going to be doing L plus with Donald solo. I honestly think you could do it with Donald as a carry. That's the thing. I even say this in the video. I say, like, he can do, like, in the mid game and like going into the end game, he's just the same as other characters. He's just not better than them. That's the thing. He is worse than them, but it's not like, yeah, I don't know.
That was tasty.
I'm going off on a Lon'qu tangent. I'm going off on a Donald tangent, which I don't want to do. I want to talk about the actual thing that we're actually doing here, guys. Come on. The whole point is that we need to not derail every stream into talking about Lon'qu, and you guys are still doing it. Even the guys who are doing it, even the ones who are doing it meaning well, you're still bringing up the same topic that we're trying to not do over and over again.
Another.
Down, sword hand.
You prefer not to let Chrom kill Grima in the end because it unlocks a nice post-game cutscene. The reason I did this is because I normally do the other option, so I just did this option because it's the one that I don't normally do. Alright. Thank you, Kuro. Thank you, Tricky. Thank you, Neff. Thank you, Bush Ranger. Thank you, Duke Nuka. Thank you, Bronze Vixen. Thank you, Sarky. Thank you, Chris. Kuro. Kunai. Garrett. Snow Warning. Duke Nuka. Bush Ranger. Bronze Vixen. I'm just repeating people's names at this point. Neff. Champion. I think I got everyone. If I missed you, I'm very sorry. And let's never forget what we have accomplished here today. We didn't even use Morgan. Morgan the unwanted child. True.
Hey. Oh. It's my fault. Right.
I'm just one man. Oh, by the way, I think this is the option that I normally pick. I should have picked the other one if I wanted to see something different. We'll have to remember that later. Anyway, I will say, and I just said I don't want to derail this conversation, but my point that I was trying to make is that you can beat Lunatic and even Lunatic Plus using Donald as your carry, but he's just going to have worse caps and worse skills at the end of the game than anyone else. So like it doesn't make, like, you can do it, but there's just no reason to do it, and he's definitely not better than he's not the best character, and he's not better than other characters the way some people say that he is. Forget saving the world, I just want you. Gods have mercy on anyone who interferes. Robin doesn't know what to say to that. Don't worry, Father. We'll find a way to make things right. I know it seems crazy, but look at all you've accomplished. Okay, least favorite daughter. Nobody asked for your opinion. Father, Father. She doesn't even say anything. What the heck? You usually end up using a few of the kids. Yeah, so typically you should be using the kids, honestly. Like you can definitely make a plan for a route that uses at least one of the kids. Most popular choice is obviously Lucina. The spouse and children have different sets of quotes. I only have one daughter. The child characters will have to deal with their younger selves from this world growing up. Yeah, true. No response, so base. You actually never read those quotes before? There must be a lot of different quotes for Robin, like every single different combination of husband, wife, and children. That's like probably at least maybe 30 different quotes that they would have had to write, which is kind of a lot. Aegis Pavis Soul build. I actually used, in my Lunatic Plus grinding run, I actually used an Aegis Pavis build. But it didn't have Soul, because the point was that they would never attack. The point was that they would just soak attacks, and then heal off the damage with Renewal. The one that heals you at the start of each turn. And Aegis Pavis would just massively reduce the amount of damage they took. It allowed me to use them as like an anchor unit or like a bait unit. I was using Jerome, and I forget who the parent partner was. And then I also gave them weapons so they could attack if I needed them to. But then, like, what they basically were is like if I had to draw out if I had to draw out enemies or play around something with counter, I could use them for it. You roasted Morgan so hard I felt it from here, says Red Watcher. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a set of quotes for each spouse and child. There would also be doubles in some cases, yeah, like for the child units. For the Gen 2 units. You use Lucina and Morgan a lot. Yeah, the reason Lucina is the most popular choice is just because it requires the least amount of like effort and planning and the least amount of like understanding of the game. Because you just get Lucina for free. There's no cutscene for Robin talking to his parents-in-law if he has them. I mean, who would they be? Like, no other characters' parents appear in the game, so I don't understand who they would be. The kids' units just stay in the timeline. Doesn't that mean that there's two at the same time? Yeah, I guess so. I don't think it's that weird, but I guess in some ways it is. It's just like, it's like having a twin or something. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, there's another person in the world who looks the same as you and thinks pretty similar to you, has the same parents, has the same genetic makeup, but it's like not, like it happens all the time in the real world. Granted, it would be like your twin being born 16 years before you are. It's like having a brother or sister who's like, you know, 15 to 20 years older than you are, and who is like more of a twin than a normal sibling. But I actually think Lucina is not very good. But she's popular just because she requires less effort and less understanding of the game mechanics, which most people don't have like a really deep understanding of the game mechanics. So they tend to prefer units that are easier to pilot. As a continuation of your plus strength Robin discussion in the Discord, going for the warrior line lets you pass rally strength to Morgan. Oh yeah, I love using Morgan as a rally bot. I think Morgan is the best rally character in the game. I just think that there's so many other things you can do with Morgan. It can often be, it can often feel like it's better to use Morgan for other things. But I do think Morgan rally builds are worth doing. After Grima's defeat, Chrom was officially welcomed as Elise's new Exalt. Queen Sumia lived and breathed for him, and her flower petal readings were said to bring good luck to all who received them. I'm not going to read all of these, but I'll read the ones for the characters that are like essential to the run. Like this I don't care about. If Robin marries Gen 2 units, he has in-laws. Oh, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, okay, I see. I almost never marry Generation 2 units in this game, so like it was hard for my brain to even process what you were saying. Like I don't think I've ever done... I think I did one run where I married a Generation 2 unit, and it was for like optimization reasons. Other than that, I never do it. You'd feel inferior to your older counterpart if you had a twin that was 15 years older than you. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, rally units are so helpful. I think, honestly, I might try to fit a rally Morgan into one of my upcoming routes. Not Freddy Boy. Yeah, maybe we should have read Fred. I don't know. I have to balance like reading chat with reading what's going on the screen, so... You can see how much investment went into each of the units. Well, Sully fought one battle. You did Virion Severa a few times on Lunatic. I'm using Virion Severa. I'm using Virion Cordelia in my Lunatic plus Iron Man route. And yeah, Virion Severa is really good too. It gives her she basically has all good mods. Like she doesn't have a single bad mod. And like some of them are like great because her mods are just really good to begin with. So just giving her like a parent who makes her mods either better or just doesn't hurt them really like makes her, like pushes her to the next level. She actually has the best mods of any character in the game. Severa does. Alright, where's Lon'qu? Come on. Lon'qu and Nowi are the important ones here. Yeah, Virion's a good father. I agree with that. How did Vake get to become a hero if he didn't promote? Yeah, I think Virion's a good father. Especially because he can pass down either Strength +2 or Magic +2, which helps a lot with your endgame damage stack. Like, if you can pass Strength +2 down to Jerome, and then Jerome gets Axe Fair, that's +7 damage that you've got against Grima. Which, granted, it does round down to 3.5, but I mean, that helps a lot with making up the margins. And his Jerome's strength cap is also very high. So he probably would be dealing more damage than Saria was dealing, although granted we'd have to be dealing with no, we wouldn't have to deal with oh, here we go. Lon'qu returned to Regna Faro and served as Basilio's right-hand man. His wife Nowi disliked the cold Faroese winters and used her gift for theatrics to secure everything from fur coats to long tropical holidays. Okay. 216 battles, 144 kills. That's our GOAT for the run. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, he won't have to deal with Pavis Plus because we can have him use Bowfair because he'll have Virion as a father. So he can get Bowfair, and then he can go into Warrior with Strength +2 and Bowfair and use a Brave Bow. So he should have damage that's like probably like 20 points higher than what Lon'qu was dealing. And then cut that in half, so like 10 points higher. So Lon'qu was dealing like 4 damage, so Jerome should be dealing at least 14 with like a good damage stack. Maybe even more, I'm not sure. We don't have all the numbers in front of us right now. That's just like an estimate. Fate goes back to the streets after doing 0 battles. All of your pairing decisions are not based on gameplay, they're just based on what you like. I mean, that's fair. Oh, Jerome already has Strength +2. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I just went off on that whole tangent. Point is, okay, so imagine how good Jerome is. Now just imagine that Virion can pass down the same value to everyone. Or you can have him pass down Bowfair so that Jerome doesn't have to grind to get it. That's like another idea. But yeah, or you could have him pass down Strength +2 to like a child that doesn't normally get it. But yeah, I don't know why I completely blanked on the fact that he literally not only can Jerome already get strength +2, he literally starts with strength +2. You think the worst generation 2 is Nah? Nah. The worst is definitely Lucina. I'm sorry, it has to be said. Unless if you're allowing grinding, it changes the discussion into a different discussion. But in a no grind context, Lucina is got to be unquestionably the worst, because she's forced to join at a time where you don't have time to prepare her. Every other Generation 2 unit, you have time to prepare them and set them up and to make them into a good character. Lucina is forced to join like halfway built, and you also can't even decide her full build because she always inherits Aether. So you don't even get to decide what she inherits from Chrom. And there's not even very many good things to inherit from Chrom anyway, even if you could. So yeah. Bronze Vixen, what you learned from this stream is how useful rallies and fair skills are? Yeah, for sure. Some would say Yarn. No, Yarn's really good too because of his extremely high strength mods. Yarn, Nah, and Inigo are near the bottom, but Lucina's worse for sure. Like, it's very difficult to make an argument that a character who can start with any skill you want and effectively get any class set you want is so basically, so most of the generation characters start with any skills that you want and can get any class set that you want. Lucina is the only one who cannot start with any skill you want, cannot start with any class skill that you want, and also has to join at a specific time very early on in the story where you don't have time to prepare for her. How can she possibly be better? Yes, she's good in Kurui's route. That's just because Kurui uses her. If he used someone else, that other character would also be good. Like, that's not really an argument. Like, if somebody used a character very well, that doesn't mean that that's the best character in the game. That just means that they used that character well. Like, they could have done other characters and done an even better job with them. And the thing about that route is it just shows how good of a parent or how good of a partner Robin is. The whole point is that Robin fixes Lucina's problems and makes them usable. Lucina by herself is not inherently good. Any unit that you invest Robin into as their parent or as their partner, and then invest the entire run's experience, resources, like every single resource into that character to make them a carry is obviously going to be good. The only reason Kurui uses Lucina is because it requires the least amount of effort, because they want to do their runs in one sitting. If Lucina had her own paralog where she could join as the other child units, she would be significantly better. And if she wasn't forced to inherit Luna, she would be miles and miles better than she is. Because as good as Aether is, it's not really a consistent skill. You would want to pass down a skill to her that is actually consistent. Something like Bowfair, for example. If you pass down Bowfair, she could promote directly, or she could promote more directly into Bow Knight instead of having to go through Sniper to get Bowfair herself. But because of the way she's built, if you want her to have Bowfair, she has to get it herself. And then also, unless you guys really have to see, like, I can't let this go. I really can't let this go. I'm sorry. I really can't let this go. You guys have to see her class set. It is horrible. Her class set is terrible, no matter which parent you give her. We're gonna have to do a Lucina video at some point in the future. Okay, these are her class sets. Unless you give her Robin as a parent to give her every class in the game, her class sets suck, okay? She can get Sword Fair from Olivia or Sully, with swords being the worst weapon type out of the three main physical attacking options, and basically just the worst weapon type in the game. She can get Tome Fair from Sumia or Maribel. That's it. She gets Bow Fair from Chrom. And then aside from that, she just doesn't have any great classes or she just doesn't have anything she can do that's like amazing as compared to the other characters where you can give them any classes that you want them to have. I don't even know what she would want to be. Like, honestly, I'd honestly think, like, if you're not using Robin to fix her horrible class set and her horrible skill access, probably the best parents are like Sully, so she can go into, I don't know, like is Wyvern even good? Because she can't even get Axe Fair or Lance Fair if she has Sully as a parent. And then, so you would do like Myrmidon to get like Sword Fair as like a bow knight with like, but if you're doing bow knight, you're just doing bow fair anyway. So that kind of helps, but even Sully doesn't have great physical mods either. So then her physical mods still end up kind of sucking. I guess like I'm trying to find any build that like works, and I feel like Maribel or Sumia going into Sage is like maybe the play. Like maybe you do Sumia, and then instead of doing Pegasus or like Archer, like the way that I did, like maybe you do Sumia and then you go directly into Cleric. That way she can train using stabs, and then she can promote to a Sage and get Tome Fair. And then once she has Tome Fair, she can train herself through Dark Flyer and eventually get Gale Force. Like I could see that maybe working to make her better than she was in this run. But there's no child unit who has all of the problems that Lucina has. Lucina has so many problems that none of the other child units have. Not Jerome, not Yarn, not Na, nobody. None of them have the same problems that Lucina has. You just can't reconcile those facts. Other than you have to use Robin to fix Lucina. That's the only way. Lucina gets Lancefair from Falcona, yeah, but she can't bring Lancefair into Wyvern. Because she either has Wyvern or she has Falcon. She can't get both. Unless, again, you have to give her Robin to fix her class set. You could do like Falcon Knight. You basically do Falcon Knight or you do Sage, I think, or Bow Knight. Lucina is their waifu. You can't change their opinions. Yeah, pretty much. Now you guys are looking forward to the Lucina video. I mean, at this point, it's probably not even worth it. I've already seen the reception on the Donald video. Sully Crom is pretty good, though. It gives Lucina like some immediate physical power. You think Yarn's problem is so much worse? I mean, his problem of having really good bases, really good caps, having access to the best fair skill in the game, having access to really good endgame classes, no matter who his parent is. Yeah, that sounds like a really horrible problem. That sounds bad. I would hate to have those problems. Yeah, I baited Meyer Tomes with Na. That makes sense. Lucina right around the corner. Oh my god. You think I should put my arguments forward? I mean, I just did. But yeah, I'm eventually going to make a Lucina video, but I'm probably not going to do like the same thing as what I did with Donald. I'll probably just make like a normal video about her. A guide on, you know, which parents are good, how to make her good, and things like that. I'm definitely going to mention, I'm at least going to talk about how she's just the worst of the Gen 2 units. She's not the worst character in the game. She's just the worst of the Gen 2 units. And that's Fire Emblem Awakening. So now that we finished that, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this file, the one that we didn't sell every single item that we own. And now we have our team and our builds and everything preserved, and we can use these characters to explore, to start exploring things like the Spotpass and DLC chapters in either this stream or future streams. I might just turn the rest of today's stream into a chatting stream, but I want to... What we can do is while we're chatting, we can go around and we can look at all of these different Spotpass chapters. Yeah, to say Yarn is the worst is just... No offense, but to say Yarn is the worst just really shows like a lack of understanding of like how important like damage stacking is, because he has pretty much the best damage stack in the game. Like it's almost very hard to make a better damage stack than Yarn. Literally in his innate class set, like he doesn't even matter who his parents are. Yarn's mods and classes give him one of the best damage stacks in the game, no matter who his parent is. You just inherit, like in the worst case scenario, you just inherit strength +2 from his mother. He gets Axe Fair himself. He has Gamble and Wrath himself. And he has access to Warrior himself. And then you just give him any parent that you want. And he becomes an absolute killing machine. And any weakness that he has can be mitigated by just putting him into the back row. Like you could even give him a Frederick parent, because if you give him Frederick and his speed kind of sucks, which his speed is not going to suck because his speed is great anyway. His speed is so good that even giving him Frederick as a father doesn't ruin his speed. He still has +2 speed with Frederick as a father. But then on top of that, even if his speed is bad, it doesn't matter because he just stands in the back row and then dual strikes for like, I don't know how much damage. I don't even know how much damage. He dual strikes for an incredible amount of damage. I mean, we can guess. We can make a guess at how much damage he can deal. So let me find Nowi. So it's going to be definitely more than 50 damage. It's going to be more than 57 damage. In fact, it's going to be at least 57 damage, and he's going to have a higher crit rate than Nowi. That's just like a bare minimum. Like she's not even capped. He will be capped, and his caps will be higher than hers. So at the very least, he's hitting for at least 57 damage on dual strikes in a class with good strength and skill. You can even put him in Berserker if you want to. You could get him Bow Fair. If you use Virion as a father, he gets Bow Fair. Bow Fair Warrior, or even just Bow Fair Sniper. He's not as good as Jerome, but he's a less good Jerome. I do think he's in the bottom half, don't get me wrong, but he's not the worst. Your favorite is Wellspring of Truth. You've never seen the DLC chapters. I can do the paralog maps while I chat. Yeah, I mean, we can look at them. I'm not going to be able to play them like all today, or even probably, I don't know if I'll play any of them today, but we can look at them. So this map right here allows you to recruit Walhart. Problem is, a lot of very powerful, very deadly enemies in between us and him. I think if you complete the chapters, you get Walhart from this one. He's got Conquest, which protects against bonus damage against beasts, riders, and armor characters, so he has no effective weaknesses. If you marry him, you can pass this skill down to Morgan, which is pretty cool. This map, I actually don't remember if I actually beat this one in my grinding challenge. I'm thinking maybe it has. I wonder if this map has a bunch of reinforcements. I don't think I've beaten this map before. I don't think I have. Let's check. I want to see if it has reinforcements. Irreconcilable paths. Okay, it does have a bunch of reinforcements, so there's going to be more enemies than just what we see here, but they don't appear until turn 3. So if you can, so this is kind of cool. It's kind of a reflection of the Walhart chapters in the main story. If we can clear enough of this map to get to him and kill him on turn 3, then you don't have to deal with the reinforcements, which is the same way that you deal with the other Walhart chapters in the main story. So that's kind of cool. No, Jerome is just a better version of Yarn, so there's no way he's the worst either. Who cares if he can't? Who cares if they can't get Gale Force? You use them to dual strike. Dual striking characters with high strength mods and high crit rates can dish out an incredible amount of damage. You just pair them up with someone that has Gale Force, and they just augment the offensive power of the Gale Force character. Or you just have them attack as player phase units. You think Stahl and Virion are Yarn's best parents because of bow fair access? Yeah, so the question is whether you would want him to use a killer axe or a killer bow, basically. I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer to that. He lost Rightful King. Oh, because he was already defeated. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Gale Force is super overrated, says Kuro. I don't know if I agree that it's super overrated. I think it's a little bit overrated. I actually think, so, like, out of the people who have, like, the, like, you know, Gale Force is overrated, like, opinion, I probably still rate Gale Force higher than, like, most of those people. Because I think it's an extremely powerful tool, and I think it's very, I don't know if I would say essential, but it makes beating Lunatic and Lunatic Plus a lot easier, and it is worth going out of your way to get. A lot of people actually think it's not even really worth going out of your way to get it, because you can just beat the game without it, and it requires so much experience to get. But I do think it's so powerful that it is worth getting on at least a couple of your characters. But yes, like the whole, like, any character who can't use Gale Force is obviously the worst. Like, that is just, like, a nonsense opinion. Like, it's just, you don't need Gale Force to be good. What you need is, like, the ability to kill enemies, which Jerome and Yarn are, like, pretty high up on the list. Anyway, this chapter, you can recruit Aversa. Similar to Walhart, she has a unique skill. It's called Shadow Gift. It allows non-dark mages to use dark magic. And again, if you marry Aversa, you can pass down this skill to Morgan. This allows Morgan to use dark magic tomes in either Dark Flyer or Sage or Valkyrie, which is very useful. This map itself has that gimmick that we talked about earlier where they create copies of your characters. The way you kind of play around this is to just bring like a bunch of crappy filler units so that you can run in and kill them with your strong units. And then your strong units can just clean up the other strong units on the following turn or following turns. I'll show that off in a future stream. Who are the best child units? So Severa, not only can she be a Gale Force attacker, which is great, but I mean, the thing is, like, every character who doesn't have every second generation unit who doesn't have a limited class set is a very small gap between them. They're basically all, like, at the top of the S tier, like, together. But out of that list, it is worth mentioning that Severa has, like, insane mods, like, even for a Generation 2 unit. Like, her mods are crazy. Let me see if I made a sheet for this. It is for a future video that I'm planning, though, so I don't think I'm going to share it publicly, unfortunately. I've kind of... I don't like sharing information that I use to work on videos, because then other people can just, like, steal my data and my work and then use it to make their own videos or do whatever. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I think you understand what I mean. Like, somebody, like, I could do all of this hard work, I could share my spreadsheet, and then someone could just take my sheet, take all the information on it, and then just make their own video before I have time to make mine, which would be pretty bad for my channel. And if you don't think that happens, unfortunately, you're very naive. So anyway, so yeah, I analyzed all of the Generation 2 units based on their growth rates and their endgame modifiers, and Severa is basically the only character who just has, like, she has no negatives, like, she has nothing that's below average in any of her growth rates or any of her endgame caps, and she's also one of the only characters who has, like, multiple good above average growth rates and above average endgame caps. And that's not even counting who her father is. So once you add a father on top of that, you can just make these values even higher and even better. So by giving her a good father, you can just make her she's already the most above average character in the game in terms of the things that she wants to do, the stats that she cares about. By giving her any, like, above average father, you just drag these values up even higher and make her even more above average as a Gen 2 unit, which is already, you know, like, basically if you're accounting for grinding, Gen 2 is, like, gonna be better than any Generation 1 units. This map's kind of weird because you can field a crap load of units, and you're dealing with Priam, who I think is supposed to be, like, the first... Like, if we do this map, we're gonna actually view all of the cutscenes and read all of the story, because I honestly don't really know that much about Priam. I probably skipped all of the scenes. It's really cool that he has all of the fair skills, all of the physical weapon fair skills, Counter and Luna Plus. Ragnell is a legendary weapon that gives +5 defense. Cool. Cool story. I think, I didn't take note of this earlier, but you tend to get items from these chapters, like the secret book and the goddess icon. Like, even if you're not planning on using Priam, it can be worth it to do this chapter just to get a bunch of experience and to get these stat boosters. Yeah, this is another one I'm not sure if I ever did this chapter or not. It looks familiar, so I might have done it before, but if I did, I probably just skipped the story, which is why I'm remembering. I think he's like the first hero, or like the ancient hero of Ulysses. Is that who he is? Priam? But a lot of people think his inclusion in the game is very weird. Having Muriel pass down Tome Fair is pretty good, yeah. Dual Support Plus, I think, is also very good, because Laurent can't get it. But that, I think, that really only works in like a grinding context. But I don't know, maybe not. I honestly think probably out of all of like the weird like Generation 2 inheritance builds, I think passing down Dual Support Plus to Laurent is probably on the list of things that are viable. You want me to try rerolling Walhart and other boss skills to update the wiki? If I do that, it's going to be on the next stream. I'm sorry. I just don't want to do that right now. I just want to look at each of the chapters one time really quick. Even just passing down Tome Fair would be really good though. And going into Sage is an easy training arc. You can get a talisman from here, Ardry. Whose chapter is this? Hold on a second. Oh, this is Emeren's chapter. Got it. Where is she? She starts over here. I've definitely done this one before because I used Emeren. I always wanted to do a Robin with Emeren pairing, but I just never got around to it. Oh, there's a village over here too. This one I don't remember. I think I did this on Lunatic, but I did not do it on Lunatic Plus. Because my memory of this is, it feels like it was longer ago. So it would have been before I started playing L+. Yeah, it's so easy for me to go off on a tangent, especially when we're talking about, I'm not like really big on like, okay, I mean, I guess it's hard to say. It's hard to say that I'm not at this point, because I've made a ton of unit guides. And I get, I very clearly get caught up in these discussions, but I don't really think of myself that cares that much about things like unit viability. Like, I still think, like, even with all the stuff that I'm saying, I think people should just use whatever units they want. And a lot of times I think, like, the minor differences between units are not that big of a deal either. But still, I don't know, it just, like, grinds my gears when someone says something that I just feel is, like, so obviously wrong. And it's like, I feel like I have to explain, the actual information, so it's very easy for me to go off on a tangent when something like that happens. Like if somebody says, like, you know, so and so is the worst character in the game, but they're definitely not the worst. It's very hard for me to not just say, like, well, no, they're not the worst. Like, here are the reasons why. Or on the other end, like the characters who are very overrated, or the characters who are actually like the worst. And I have to explain, like, why they're so overrated. Xanth. Whose chapter is this? This is Gangrel's chapter. So I guess if we kill Xanth... Who in the world is Xanth? If you kill Xanth, you can, I guess, get Gangrel on your team. Sure, why not? Who is this Xanth guy? This is definitely something I don't remember. I probably just skipped the scenes. I'm really bad about just like skipping cutscenes when it gets to the point where I'm just like, I care more about the gameplay than the story. I tend to just like skip cutscenes and just, especially with stuff like, it's just like extra DLC chapters and like post game stuff. Like I'm not gonna sit here and like read the whole story, but maybe we'll do that on stream when we do it in the future. Really quick, we'll also check the out realm gate. We should have pretty much all of the maps. We have 1 to 3 champions. We have, for some reason, exponential growth shows that it was cleared. That makes absolutely no sense. I definitely remember showing off at one point during the run. I remember showing exponential growth. This is weird. I remember showing it off on one of the previous streams, right? And the whole point was showing that after you clear it, it shows up like a record, shows that it's been cleared. But I'm pretty sure we reset to the point where it wasn't cleared anymore. So I don't know why it's showing as cleared. I genuinely don't know why it would show that. I need to go... Well, the problem is we didn't really look at it for most of the streams, but we looked at it during that stream. Is it a global thing? We can check. It might be a global thing. Before I start scanning the other DLC chapters, I want to check. I want to investigate this fact. So we should be able to go in here and check. Because if that's true, if that's global, that's really unfortunate. Because it would make it very difficult to prove that a run wasn't didn't involve grinding, because anytime you go into like the global save file, it would show that exponential growth had been cleared, even if it was on a previous playthrough. No, it's not there. Okay, so that's weird. I think the only explanation I can think of is that, what did we use it for? There's I guess there's like 3 explanations I can think of. So number 1, whenever I did the showcase, whenever I showed exponential growth and then I made separate save files, like one where I didn't use it and then one where I did, I guess it's possible that I would have accidentally continued using the file that used exponential growth, but I don't think that's the case. So the only other thing would be if we used it for something and then I forgot about it. But I don't think that's the case either. So then the other case would be that I used it, but then forgot about it. I mean, it still would be a case that I used it and then forgot about it, but it would have been off stream. But what would I have used it for? Because it's not like any of our characters are grinded. It could have been from a different save file that was copied over. Yeah, but I know, but I'm trying to, like, this run should have been no grind. So I'm trying to figure out why exponential growth shows that it's been cleared. And it's not like any of our characters, it doesn't seem like any of our characters look like they've been grinded up. So it doesn't look like I did any, if I did it, it must have been like one time for like something and I don't know what. And then I forgot that I did it. That's unfortunate. That kind of invalidates the entire run. Because I mean, I just showed it's definitely not a global thing. So it had to have been used on this file, which is supposed to be my no grind clear. But for some reason, I don't know, like, I don't know what it was used for. Like, it doesn't seem like it would have been used for anything. Maternick, you think it is global? I don't think it is, because we just checked another run and it didn't show that it had been cleared in that other run. Yeah, I mean, if people want to go back and look through the chapters, they can check like the character stats and levels in between streams and see if there was one where they increased. The thing I'm thinking, I almost feel like it must be something else. It must be something we actually did on stream and we're just forgetting about it. Like maybe for some reason, like we went in there and I showed off like oh, you can do this, or I don't know. Like maybe like I don't know. I'm just like, I'm drawing a blank, but it would have been like something like after we recruited. Like this isn't it. But just for an example, it could have been like when we recruited Na. Like I would have been like, oh well, like I'll go into exponential growth and I'll show you like this is how you would train her. And then I just like forgot and like saved the game after I did that. I've also, yeah, I do have save files saved in different folders and I swapped them out. So maybe like I could have, this wouldn't have been the stall emblem run. I could have accidentally swapped a save file, but I don't want to make any excuses. Like Snow Warning is saying like this, you don't think this invalidates anything. In my opinion, like this, I'm not saying it's like a huge scandal or anything. Like I don't think this is a scandal. Obviously, whatever happened, it must have been like some kind of mistake or error. But I do think that it, and obviously like this run has still shown like obviously no grind is clearly possible. Like whatever happened here, it was definitely like 99 or 100% no grind. But at some point, either on stream or off stream, I must have gone into exponential growth for some reason and then saved the game afterwards, and I don't know when or why. Do you think Na would ever be good in Lunatic Plus? Oh, do you think Na is ever going to be good just in general or in this run? If we grind her, we could make her good. If you planned around her, you could have made her good as well, but I didn't do either of those things. She has strength +2 and move +1. Like, we could have made her good from this position. What we could have done is when she joined, we could have used her as a Manakete all the way up to level 30, and then just switched her over to a Sage. Or we could have just switched her over to... Unfortunately, she wouldn't have Cleric access, so it would be a little bit harder, but we could have switched her immediately over to a Mage and then trained her through Mage. But I actually think just training her through Manakete would be better. Up to 30 and then over to Sage. Although, unfortunately, like I said, we did like a Strength +2 build here, so it's kind of wonky. If you're going to do that, we probably should have used a different father. I'm not that worried about it. I just want to hold myself to the same standard that I would hold other runs. And like obviously, like it's not like I'm submitting this run to like the speedrun archive or anything, so it doesn't matter like ultimately. But still, I do think like standards are important, and whatever happened, we do have to recognize it. Like, I'm not going to make any excuses. I just don't know for sure what happened. And it's very clear that the units, like, as a whole, were not grinded. So whatever happened, it must have been, like, something. I either did it for testing or for showcasing for something. I can't remember what it... I can't remember what it would have been used for. Red Watcher, you go into that map and then clear it to reset the global map, like without killing anything. I'm not sure if that actually works. I don't think the DLC maps actually affect the world map. I think the only thing that affects it is setting your clock forward. I actually don't think clearing regular maps updates it either. I think it's just the clock thing, but I could be wrong. Alright, anyway, let's look at the other DLC maps while we're here. So we're probably not going to do like all of the champions. So hold on a second. Let me go to the DLC chapters, because they're based on. I want to see downloadable content in Fire Emblem Awakening. So I'm probably not going to waste my time doing all of like the really easy ones, for hopefully what should be obvious reasons, because it would be kind of boring to watch. Me just like steamrolling like level 5 unpromoted enemies. So I'm not going to do any of the difficulty 1-star ratings. I think they go all the way up to, what is it, 5 stars? Excuse me. So Apotheosis doesn't really have a rating, but Future Past 3 should have a 5-star rating. Okay, so we're definitely going to do all of the 5-star maps. We might do some of the 4-star maps. So we're definitely going to do Future Past. We could try Roster Rescue. We could try Anna Firefight. Death's Embrace. Hot Springs. The Scramble maps are actually pretty easy, but I might do the Scramble maps just to show them off. So other than that, I'm pretty sure Infinite Regalia might be worth doing. But other than that, stuff like Rogues and Redeemers, I guess the third Rogues and Redeemers is pretty hard. Okay, we might look at Rogues and Redeemers. Smash Brethren, actually some of these are actually pretty hard. What are the easy ones? Lost Bloodlines. Okay, so Lost Bloodlines are easy. So Champions of Rior is easy. Infinite Regalia might be worth doing. The Scramble might be worth doing, not for challenge reasons, but just for showing off the content in them. Future Past is worth doing. Rogues and Redeemers might be worth doing if people want to see it. Lost Bloodlines. Let me check Lost Bloodlines again. No, Lost Bloodlines is not worth doing. Smash Brethren, if people want to see, we could do. Death's Embrace, I'm not sure about. Where's Death's Embrace? I actually don't see Death's Embrace on the list. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Death's Embrace, and a Firefight, Roster Rescue, and Apotheosis. These are all worth doing. These are all challenge maps here. I think I want to do Future Past for story reasons before anything else. That would be the most fun for me personally, doing Future Past. I think it would be great. I could even make a video about it. I'm pretty sure I could stream Future Past and then make videos about them, and people would watch the videos even. Not like a stream highlights video, but just like a video about the chapters, like the story in them and all that stuff. You recommend doing the easy maps in order to pair up our leftover pairings? I mean, that's worth doing if we're kind of going to be planning for Apotheosis, but if we do that, we can just save that for later. Death's Embrace is really hard. You couldn't beat it without Gale Force. You'd love to see me do Apotheosis. We're definitely going to do Apotheosis. We're not going to do it with this team. This team would get destroyed in Apotheosis. At the very least, we have to like grind them up a little bit. we have to play through some of the other DLC maps and the Spotpass maps to get their levels and their stats up. We need to at least cap their stats. Yeah, we're gonna do DLC. We're gonna do a DLC and we're gonna do Spotpass on future streams. What I'll do is I'll have people vote what they want us to do. The options are gonna be I'll make a poll, and the options are gonna be probably either Spotpass chapters, future past, or I mean, what would be the other option? Like the scramble chapters, like Harvest Scramble, Summer Scramble, Hot Spring Scramble, just to show off those for like, honestly, like fan service reasons. Because they're not challenging and they don't really have like an actual story, but they do have good. And I don't even mean like fan service, like the looking at Tharja's butt scene. I'm talking about like characters having like unique conversations with each other and things like that. But anyway, a good 2.5 hour stream. We hit our target goals. I'm not really in the mood to play anymore today. I don't know, maybe I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but I could maybe stream later today, or stream Sunday, or stream on Monday or something. If I do that, I'm not sure. What would you guys rather see? FE4, Birthright, maybe Revelations, or something else like Wizardry or Musume. Not Fire Emblem. That would be fun to be able to play something that's not Fire Emblem. Those streams tend to get like 5 to 10 viewers, but it is what it is. I'm curious to know what like other than watching Fire Emblem Awakening stuff, like the people who are here right now are like my core audience. Other than watching Fire Emblem Awakening, like what other streams do you like to watch? Let me know. I'm still here. I'm still chatting. Scramble Pack, yeah. You guys love Uma Musume. You want to see Revelations? I'm definitely not going to play Conquest. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to play Conquest. So the choice is Birthright or Revelations. The choice is not Conquest. The Conquest is not one of the options. Yeah, Rev has some content on YouTube. If you want, you can check out Danny Doyle. She has some Revelations videos, and some other people have done so as well. Unfortunately, I don't know them off the top of my head. Hobbit discussion. If I do that, it's not going to be a stream. It's going to be a video. Elden Ring could be maybe fun. So this is really funny. After I deleted all of my old videos on this channel and I started streaming regularly, and I made my character design, and I basically rebranded the channel. The first thing I ever did was an Elden Ring stream where I would play with viewers, and of course, because I didn't have any viewers, nobody showed up. I think one person actually showed up and they were talking in the chat, but they didn't. I can't remember if they ended up even getting into the co-op session with me. But I had a stream where I did Elden Ring co-op with viewers, and of course nobody showed up or played with me. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I actually want to play more Dark Souls 2. Milk Toast, you haven't seen much of my other stuff. It would be cool to see what I'm cooking. So I'm I'm not saying this as like a brag. I'm just like, it's just like a fact. I'm really good at Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2. If you are interested in seeing people play those games at like the highest level, that is something I could definitely stream again if people were interested. What videos were here originally? So originally, before I basically rebranded my channel, I made my channel 13 years ago, and I basically just used it to upload clips, like no commentary, just like clips of me defeating bosses in Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne. Either like Soul Level 1 challenge runs, or like gun only challenge runs, Arcane Hunter Tool challenge runs, things like that. And then I basically deleted most or all of those videos, and I just I started making streaming like other video games, and making anime reviews and like video game analysis videos. Oh yeah, no. If we play Dark Souls 2, it's definitely not gonna be. It's not gonna be like a casual run where I just like level up to like max level and just like steamroll the game. It's gonna be like a you know, I'm gonna make like an actual build, whatever the meta soul level is considered now. I'll make like a real build and play the game. Like on a very expert level. Like I don't think you guys probably can estimate like how good I am at especially Bloodborne specifically. I'm almost definitely within like the top 1% of players in the world of Bloodborne. I would be very shocked if that's not true. Aside from that, I don't know how close I really am to the top. I'm definitely not as good as like the best players, but I'm like extremely good. I've played like hundreds and hundreds of hours of Bloodborne. Garrett, you're down for Bloodborne. You like watching pain, so it would not be that kind of stream. It would not be a stream where I'm like suffering and like struggling to beat the game. It would be like one of those streams where like I go in there and I'm like I make the game look easy because I just destroy everything. Yeah, Fates, either Revelations or Birthright I think would be really fun. Which shows and anime am I watching right now? So I'm not really watching a lot of ongoing anime. I was watching the new season of Grand Blue Dreaming, but I'm not anymore. So Millie and I have been watching a lot of like older stuff. Like I'm getting her to watch anime and cartoons that I've seen before that she hasn't seen, and she's getting me to watch stuff that she has seen before and that I haven't seen. Right now I'm getting her to watch Venture Brothers, which is like one of my favorite shows of all, not even just one of my favorite cartoons, like literally just one of my favorite shows. Any kind of show. It just clears like everything else. Venture Bros is one of my favorite shows of all time. She didn't really like it that much at first. She laughed like a couple times in the first season, but then over time I think it's grown on her. She's enjoying it a lot more now. By like season 4 or 5 she was finally into it, and we're getting close to the end. The reason I actually continued, like I tried watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure like a couple years ago, and I kind of stalled out like in part 3, and she got me to watch the rest of part 3 because her favorite is part 4 and she wanted me to watch part 4 with her, so we did that. We've been watching movies. I've been talking about it in the Discord. We watched Airplane the other night. Last night we watched The Nightmare Before Christmas because of Halloween, and it's because of one of my favorite movies. She actually tried to, she not so much, maybe like jokingly, but she kind of tried to ruin the movie for me, but it didn't work. I still love it no matter what she says. And she enjoyed it too, but I think she has, she's a little more critical of the movie than I am. For me, Nightmare Before Christmas is like goated, so I have nothing bad to say about it. She had a few criticisms. Let's see, what other anime have we watched recently? We were watching a little bit of Frieren. We were watching, so I got her to watch Grand Blue as well, and then we watched season 2 together when the season 2 finally aired. We flew through it too. We watched like all of Grand Blue season 1, like right before season 2 came out, because she hadn't seen it before. I want to get her to watch, oh God, what was another one? It's something, it's like one of those things where like if you watch Grand Blue, like it's one of the other shows that people typically recommend, that she hasn't seen yet, I don't think. I can't remember if she hasn't seen No Game No Life, but if she hasn't, I would definitely want her to watch that at some point in the hopefully near future. Yeah, at this point, like if I watch anything, it's usually with her, or it's something that I watch like by myself when I'm eating, by myself, which I don't do very much anymore. Milk Toast, why do I have an aversion to Fate's Conquest? I wouldn't say I have an aversion. I was doing a playthrough recently. I wasn't really having very much fun, and I had to end it. And then I don't want to go back to that playthrough for reasons that I talked about earlier on stream. And so if I'm not going to go back to that, then it would just be like restarting another Conquest playthrough, which I just don't. I'm not in the mood to play Conquest right now. It's, in my opinion, it's not my favorite. I know a lot of people, it's their favorite of the Fates. My favorite is Birthright. I just don't really like Conquest that much, to be honest. I don't have an aversion to it. It's just I don't like it as much as other people. Duke Nuka, you're also critical of The Nightmare Before Christmas. Hey, that makes you her ally, and it makes you my enemy. You guys like Classroom of the Elite. You like To Your Eternity. No, we didn't watch that. So I don't really watch a lot of airing anime. I usually watch shows like after they finish, and only if they seem really interesting to me. And to be honest, like I just haven't really been watching as much anime in the last like 5 or even 10 years. Vapor Code, you're developing a game inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics, Fire Emblem, and Tactics Ogre. Can I make a live stream or video of a wish list for things that you would like to develop the game based on your suggestions? Okay, so you want my ideas of what would make a good game. Unfortunately, I cannot give you my ideas of what would make a good game because I would rather take those ideas and put them into my own game rather than giving them to another game developer. No offense, but it just doesn't really make any sense. It would be like the CEO of Pepsi going to the CEO of Coca-Cola and being like, hey, can you give me any ideas for like what is a good flavor to put into our next soda? Like for me to give you those, my ideas wouldn't really make very much sense. But yeah, in a very respectful way. I think you probably understand what I mean. Hopefully you wouldn't just give your ideas to other game developers. I don't think it would be a very smart thing to do. And by the way, that kind of gets me onto a very unrelated subject, but a lot of times when I see people making fan games, it really makes me, or like fan games or ROM hacks, I don't want to say like I'm like super like against the idea, but there's a small part of me that's a little bit disappointed because I'm always thinking like they're taking all of this effort and all of this energy. I really think that they're not valuing themselves enough because they could take their skills, their game design skills, and they could make a completely original game and then sell that game and own the rights and own the IP and own the property. Whereas if you make a ROM hack or if you make a fan game, you're essentially just using someone else's IP and you might not be allowed to monetize it. It gets like legally dubious and you don't really get credit for like making your own original creation, which like I know you're capable of. Like I'm almost saying this like in like a positive way. Like I know you can do it. Like you can make your own game rather than making like a fan game or a ROM hack. But it is what it is. Obviously making ROM hacks is a lot lower investment. And making fan games has its benefits as well. Like, for example, if I were to make a fan game that had, like, HoloLive characters, for example, it would get 100 times as many, plays and 100 times as many views as if I just made my own original game. So I totally understand why people do it, but I do think, Nef Champion, you like Digimon Adventure. Duke Nuka, you like Hajime no Ippo. I really love sports anime. I haven't watched Hajime no Ippo yet. My favorite sports anime, obviously Haikyuu is on the list. I really love Ace of Diamond. I'm a huge fan of baseball. I've played baseball, I've watched baseball anime. Ace of Diamond is far and away my favorite baseball anime, and it's one of my favorite anime of all time. If you haven't watched it, I'm not going to say it's a show that I'd recommend to everyone, but if you like baseball, I think Ace of Diamond is the most faithful anime, like, to what baseball is actually like. Like, it very accurately represents, like, what goes into the actual sport of baseball, more than, like, dramatizing it, or, like, cutting out all the quote-unquote boring parts for the sake of the anime or whatever, but yeah. Let's see. Snow Warning, you don't know a lot about anime, and you don't think the games that you like would fit the channel. I mean, I play a lot of variety of different things, and, yeah. I even, watch more stuff other than just anime. I watch cartoons, I watch movies and things like that. I don't know, I might start like, my channel is already pretty varied in what I do. I might start expanding that even further and talking about other things. Like I mentioned before, I wanted to make a video about The Hobbit. Spiders and Flies chapter in particular. I want to make a video about Gildor Inglorian from The Lord of the Rings. But I don't want to say too much about that because that's another one of those. I think my Gildor Inglorian video idea is really great, and it's one of those ones where if I say too much about it, someone else could steal the idea and make the video first, and it would absolutely happen. So I'm going to keep that one on the down low just in case if I do decide to make the video, I would rather be the first person to make it because it is my idea. Do I have things that I hate to see in fan games that are inspired by Fire Emblem? I'm sorry, Vapor Code. I'm not gonna give you advice on how to design a game. I will say, personally speaking, because you asked this question, I think one of the best ways to make a game is to look at flaws or mistakes that other game designers have made, and then when you make your game, avoid making those same mistakes. So, for example, I talked about how I don't like how the UI Okay, see, I'm doing it anyway. Okay, you're gonna get one for free. You're gonna get one for free. I talked about how I don't really like how the UI in Fates hides so much information from the player, and you're constantly forced to like check like enemy skills to figure out like exactly how much damage you're going to take, or exactly how much damage you're going to deal, or how if you move your character out of the way, the enemies are going to move to a different position than where it says their actual movement range is. So if I was going to make a game inspired by Fire Emblem, I would make sure that the combat forecast actually shows all of the information and doesn't require the player to like keep track of secondary or tertiary pieces of information that they have to add up in their head in addition to what is shown in the combat forecast. And I would make sure that there was a mechanic that showed how far the enemies can actually move even after you move out of the way. Am I rooting for anyone in the World Series? Not really. I should be a boss. Let me see who's actually. So I actually haven't been watching any baseball this season, so hold on really quick. Who was in the last World Series? Or 2025 season is on right now. Okay. So the Blue Jays and the Dodgers are playing right now. Okay, so really not teams that I have any reason to care about, but in general, mostly like because of where I'm from, you would expect me to be a Red Sox fan, like you would expect me to be raised as a Red Sox fan. But honestly, I just don't really have like that whole team loyalty thing that people have when it comes to sports. I'm not like a team follower. I just really love watching, in particular, really good defensive play, which is typically not shown in highlight videos. Like highlight videos generally focus on home runs and strikeouts. And so one of the awesome things that Ace of Diamonds really does is it focuses on the team as a whole and all of the plays that go into winning the game, especially the defensive plays, how they stop the other team from scoring aside from just striking out. So if you love baseball, definitely check it out. And another thing that Ace of Diamond does that's really awesome is it shows how long it really takes to practice and perfect a new technique and to improve your skills at the game gradually over time, instead of just doing like the anime equivalent of like going in. Like there's no point in Ace of Diamond where a character just goes into like the hyperbolic time chamber and just comes out with a new move and uses it in the next game and it works right away. Like these characters spend like 20, 30, 40 episodes learning a new pitch or improving their swing. And that's something that really reflects how baseball players gradually develop their skills, and how one game, like having one big moment in one game doesn't really make a deciding factor. What really happens is there's an entire season of play that matters. And Ace of Diamond does a really good job of highlighting that. They highlight the scouts, they highlight the bench players, like the things that really matter, as opposed to something like, why am I drawing a blank on the name of this anime? Hold on a second, let me go to my anime list. If I'm already logged in, I'll check, because it should be on my list. If I'm not logged in, then I'm not going to bother. I'm not thinking of one-outs, but I'll talk about one-outs really quickly as an example. So one-outs, for example, Major is what I'm thinking of. One-outs, for example, it doesn't really show like how baseball is actually played. It's more of just like a mind game type series. So one-outs is not, it's a good series, it's entertaining, but it's not a good reflection of like actual baseball. And like Major, for example, they just put like all of the focus on the pitcher. It's like you just have like one main character who just like dominates the entire game. That's not how baseball is really played. So that's why I like Ace of Diamond. That's also why I like Haikyuu, because it puts so much focus on the team as a whole. Alright, sorry, so I have, there was a couple messages earlier that I wanted to read that I got derailed. I ended up not reading them, and now I want to go back and find them again. Oh yeah, you guys were talking about Inazuma 11 and Blue Lock. I have a video on my channel about Blue Lock, but I only watched the first episode. I never continued with that series. What we know is really funny is that I went to the... so sometimes, I don't always do this, but it depends on the video. Sometimes I take my videos and I promote them on like the relevant subreddit, for example, just so that people who are interested in the series, if they want to check out my video, they can do it. Typically, I get like 5 or 10 views from this, so it's really not like a thing where like, oh, like I'm doing this to farm views and farm engagement. It's really not like that. You just don't really get many views from Reddit, and if anything, you tend to get like more hate comments and dislikes. But what's really funny is when I posted my Blue Lock video on the Blue Lock subreddit, everyone there told me not to watch the anime, which is really funny. I don't know. It's just like every once in a while you get those fan bases where it's like the people there like don't even like the anime, like they don't even like the series that they're fans of. They were saying like if you're gonna get into it, you should read the manga instead of watch the anime. But it's still just really funny when you go to a place and you're like, hey guys, like I'm getting into this series that you all love, and they're actually like, well, no, don't get into it. I guess a good example would be something like League of Legends. Like even most people who play League of Legends will tell you like don't play League of Legends. It's that kind of thing. So I saw that comment. I wanted to talk about Blue Lock very briefly. Snow Warning, you also love Gildor? Yeah, he's great. He's in the Silmarillion too. I want to say what I'm thinking about Gildor, but I don't want to say it because, like I said, I don't want to give my idea to other people. So unfortunately, I have to keep it to myself. It is what it is. Sorry, guys. Yeah, clicking and checking skills on the original hardware is a lot easier for Fates. 100%, I agree with that. I've mostly played on original hardware, and that's part of the reason why when I was streaming it, I've been playing on so let's say not original hardware, and the UI issues became very quickly very apparent to me, and it was making the streaming process not fun at all. So if I do stream it, I'll probably want to stream a route that's not Conquest so that I can enjoy myself a little bit more. And I'll still have to deal with the crappy UI. Garrett, you went on a vacation to the U.S. when you were 21, and you went to a baseball game on that vacation. You sat beside an older man who was there with his daughter, and he spent the entire match explaining baseball to you. That's really cool. He was ignoring his daughter, but she looked happy about that. Snow Warner, you've been playing Chess Ultimate. Cool. I like chess, but I'm not good at it. No, it wasn't gatekeeping. It wasn't gatekeeping on the Blue Lock sub. Yeah, subreddit is definitely filled with negativity. Or Reddit in general is filled with a lot of negativity, which is why I don't even bother promoting there a lot of the times anymore. Not even just because, like, yeah, I'm not even gonna open that can of worms. But no, it wasn't gatekeeping. It was more like them saying like the anime isn't worth watching because it's really bad. Even though they're fans of it, they're saying like, you know what, don't even watch it because it's not good. That's kind of what the vibe was, which was really funny. That's not the reason why I didn't continue watching it. It was just that I got caught up doing other things. I was, I think, not 100% sure. Check something really quick. I really hate, I have said this already, but I really hate the new YouTube Studio backend. It looks horrible. You have to click like so many times to find what you're looking for. It lags like crazy. It lags so much worse than the old YouTube Studio. Anyway, I can actually maybe show you guys what other anime we were trying to watch recently. I have to find my bookmarks though. Where are they? They're in a weird spot. Because I'm using a different browser, so it doesn't lag as much, and it's still lagging anyway. Because YouTube Studio is trash. They're not bookmarked in this browser. Okay. There was a couple other things that we've been gradually watching through. Oh yeah, we did get through part 4 of JoJo. I did like it a lot. I didn't like it as much as Millie likes it. My favorite part is, honestly, my favorite part overall is probably part 2. But in retrospect, part 3 has grown on me a lot, which is really funny because I sold out originally, and I couldn't even finish part 2 originally. Or sorry, part 3 originally. But now that I've started watching like more JoJo's, like I retroactively have like so much nostalgia and so much love, especially like for the Stardust Crusaders. I think the characters in that part are great, and it just makes the whole journey like so much more enjoyable. Oh, my chat window's lagging like crazy because now I just noticed that chats are appearing. Oh guys, I'm very sorry about this. I just noticed that chats are appearing on the stream, but they're not showing up in my chat window anymore. I have to do something so I can see your chats. Okay, hold on. I know what I need to do. It's gonna take a minute. I have to close out YouTube Studio because it's just lagging so much now. I think my chat box froze. But what's really funny is that I can see your chats showing up on the stream footage. Chats that I haven't read yet. But yeah, I didn't enjoy part 4 as much as she did, but it is what it is. That's her favorite part. My favorite part is part 2. But I also I love the Stardust Crusaders as well. Part 5 actually kind of neither one of us is really enjoying part 5, which is kind of why we'd slowed down on watching JoJo and started watching other things. For me personally, I have a couple of issues. Number one, I don't really like stories where the main characters are criminals. They just don't usually really appeal to me, especially when they always try to make it like, oh, like we're like, you know, we're the good ones. We're gangsters, but we're like the good gangsters. We're the ones who do the right thing. It's just too apologetic of what's basically like glorifying like crime culture, which I just don't like. And neither one of us has really laughed that much. There's been like a couple of funny parts, but in general, part 5 just seems like it takes itself very seriously and it just is not very funny. And that's not as big of a problem for me personally, but for Millie in particular, like, I can definitely tell she's enjoying it less because she really likes comedy. She likes watching stuff that makes her laugh, and if she's not laughing as much, that's probably why she's not enjoying it as much. I know there's a lot of people who love part 5, but there's also a lot of people who think part 5 is the worst part, so I guess it can kind of go either way. Joseph is the best main character. Yeah, Joseph is probably my favorite character of the entire JoJo's series so far, and he is definitely the best. You don't like part 5 either, I guess is what you're saying, Nev Champion. Have I watched I'm guessing you're talking about the Maple fan edit of the Hobbit movies? Yes, I have watched it, and it's actually a lot better, but it's still not good. The problem is the Maple film. I think we're talking about the same one. Either way, it doesn't matter what it is because they're gonna have the same issue. Whether it's if the edit you're talking about is different or if it is the same one, I'll just talk about the one that I've seen, which is the Maple Films edit. So the issue is, yes, they were able to cut out all of the bad pacing and filler and like crappy material from the movies, which made it less fun to watch and condensed it down to an experience that is just like purely enjoyable and a decent adaptation of The Hobbit. I'm very critical. I love the Lord of the Rings movies, by the way, so don't get me wrong. But I'm probably not even as critical of the Hobbit movies as some people, but the Hobbit movies are decent, okay? They're not decent adaptations. They are not great they're not even good adaptations. The problem with the fan edits is they can't generate new material. So anything that was cut from the books and not included in the movies, the fan edits cannot put into the movies because they don't have footage. They don't have any footage of what actually happened in Spiders and Flies, for example. So how could they put that into the movie? It's impossible. They can't fix the fundamental problems with the movies, which is that a lot of Bilbo's material was cut. A lot of the best material in the story was cut. So they can cut more stuff, but they can't add anything that was missing. So there's just no way to do it. There's just no way to fundamentally fix those movies, and other than just completely remaking them. Neff, oh, you guys are probably talking about the criminal thing, yeah. You don't like stories that glorify criminals. You don't like stories that glorify bad actions. Yeah, I just personally don't like it. I will say I definitely have a soft spot for The Godfather. I think it's a really well-made movie and it's really enjoyable. But other than that, I can enjoy something like in spite of it having criminal main characters, but in general, it's usually a negative quality that at least somewhat negatively impacts my enjoyment of either the movie or the anime or the game or whatever it is. When your cousin and you normally play games, you have a comedy stand-up going on in the background. You die to laughing more than anything. Your last run of Halo 3 was hilarious. Oh yeah, I'm a big multitasker too. Like, other than, like, if I'm not playing games on stream, whenever I'm playing games off stream, I'm usually either watching a video or listening to music in the background, typically music. I listen to so much music, you guys have no idea. I used to listen to music like almost every day, all day long. But I also used to spend a lot of time alone. Now that I don't spend as much time alone, I don't listen to music as much anymore. just because typically we're doing stuff together, watching movies and other things. Kuro says, you like bad actions and villain protagonists as long as they don't try to be like, oh, we're actually the good guys. Yeah, it's not as bad if they don't like try to glorify it or try to make it like, oh, like we're one of the good ones. We're the good ones. We don't, like, using part 5 of JoJo's for an example, they're like, oh, we don't sell drugs to children. We just sell drugs to everyone else. And we just rob people and we steal. Like, oh, okay, cool. It's part of a pervasive issue in our society, which is that crime culture is very, very glorified, and I just don't like it. I just personally am not a fan of it. And I don't enjoy watching those kinds of stories. You like how Lelouch tries to make a revolution in order to save Japan. So revolution is a little bit different. Anything that is based in how do I want to say it? We're discussing a different type of story now. If the story is about the system, the government, or the laws are fundamentally wrong, and obeying those laws would be evil, and opposing those laws would be justified, that is a different type of story. And in fact, using criminal might not even be the right word. What we're talking about is the difference between a good protagonist and an evil protagonist. So if your protagonist is fighting against an evil system, even though they're breaking the law, they can still be considered a good character. Let's see. Man, this has really turned into a chatting stream, guys. Oh, it's not the Maple Edit. Okay, it's a different one. You think it's superior in both composition and technical quality? Yeah, but they can't add scenes that are missing, so it just doesn't matter. I mean, I might check it out the next time I watch the Hobbit films. I might check out those that version instead of the Maple Edit. But I mean, it's the same issue. It's not going to have any of my favorite chapters. It's not going to have any of my favorite stories. Like the Battle of the Five Armies is so much better in the books. I'm pretty sure I cried while reading it, maybe twice. It's the Battle of the Five Armies in the books is so good. Let's see if they have it anywhere. Do you guys want to read it? Is that the name of the chapter? I'm pretty sure I can find it. We can read it together. It's so much better, guys. It's a million times better than the movie adaptation. It's not even a competition. It's not even a competition. I can't find a source for that actually has, like, I can find sources for like summaries, but I can't find like a sample chapter posted anywhere that's readable, which is fair. I mean, obviously they want you to buy the book or buy the ebook. I did find a transcript. I don't know if this is it. No, there's nothing there. It's just an empty page. It's called The Clouds Burst. Ah, thank you. That's probably why it's not coming up in the search. Snow Warning says, yes, please. Snow Warning, you like watching the Lord of the Rings movies, you just pretend they're not adaptations. Yeah, I mean, the Lord of the Rings movies are fine. Like, they're good. I would even say they're good or even great adaptations. Even knowing how much they cut, how much they changed, they're still good to great adaptations. They really still are. I'm talking about The Hobbit. That I want to read. Oh, Neff Champion, The Hobbit is a lot easier to read than Lord of the Rings. It's shorter, it's more fast-paced, and the story is a lot more personal. And it is so well written. It is incredible how well written The Hobbit is. Oh my god, it's so good. I almost want to reread it again. There's a good audiobook version too on YouTube. There is a very good audiobook version. I'm not sure if I can find it again. Also, I don't know if I could link to it because it might be one of those things where like the version that I watched, or the version that I listened to on YouTube was probably like it's like some amount of copyright violation. Okay, we're not gonna do that. I just can't find it, guys. I just can't find it. Sorry. Maybe here. We're just getting summaries. I can only find summaries of the chapters. I can't find the chapters themselves. Which again, I totally understand. They want us to buy the book, so they're not going to just upload it somewhere for free. And any place that has uploaded it for free has probably been taken down. Yeah, I can't find it. We're not going to be able to read it. Sorry, guys. I don't have a copy like anywhere near me right now. If I have it, it's probably in one of my boxes. Do I have any book recommendations? Honestly, if Millie ever streams again, you should ask her. She reads a lot. She has read a lot more books than I do, and she reads way more than I do. So, yeah. If she does another, maybe I can ask her if she wants to do a chatting stream related to books. It might be tough though, because there's certain reasons why. Yeah, you would start with The Hobbit. I mean, you should read The Hobbit first because it came first anyway. It's chronologically first, it was published first, and it's also easier to read. And then after you've read it, you might have an easier time reading The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings takes more time to give details to the scenery and things like that. It's a lot slower paced. Snow Warning, you want to send me a digital copy? Don't worry about it. I'll get a copy. I'll get a legitimate copy. It's not a big deal. It would have been a nice little fun little detour, you know. This has been apparently the stream where I'm constantly getting detoured and derailed. But it would have been a fun little derail to just sit here and read a random chapter from a book that I love. But you know, it's not like it's something that's essential to do right now or even in the future. And even if I'm going to do it in the future, I can prepare better for it. I need to get a copy anyway if I'm going to make videos about the series, which I might want to. I really want to make a video about spiders and flies, and honestly, I could even make a video about the Battle of the Five Armies, because like I said, I literally got misty-eyed reading it. I think more than once. Not even just the first time, but even the most recent time I read it. It's like, my god, this is so good. It's so good. It's so good, guys. The Hobbit book is so phenomenal. Like, it's so much better than the movies. Don't let the movies ruin it for you. As good as the movies are, the book is like greatest of all time status. And obviously some people are not going to like it as much as I do. Some people will like Lord of the Rings better. Some people just straight up just won't like it. But for me personally, I just think it's an incredibly well-written book. And it's really enjoyable to read. Oh, you know what though? That does bring to mind. You should definitely check out the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, basically Duncan and Egg novellas, which are collected in there. So George R.R. Martin, the person who wrote A Song of Ice and Fire, he wrote some short stories about a character named Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg, and they were collected into a collection called The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. If you can get that, you should get it. It's, in my opinion, the best material that George R.R. Martin has written. I think it's better than A Song of Ice and Fire. I think it's every single one of the short stories is incredibly good. It's probably right up there with The Hobbit for me. I don't know if I would say it's better or worse. I don't know if I can really say that. It's tough for me to say without really thinking about it. And I'm the kind of person who doesn't typically like rank things based on like what I enjoy more or less. Like I have a general idea of like what my favorites are, but I don't go like, oh, like this one is number 4, this one is number 5, this one is number 6. Like it's just not, like my brain just doesn't work that way. But definitely, if you're interested in fantasy stuff, especially low fantasy, because the World of Ice and Fire is pretty low fantasy. The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and the short stories contained in there are very, very good. And the good thing is that unlike a Song of Ice and Fire, each of the short stories has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you don't get like to the end of A Dance with Dragons, and then you just end on a cliffhanger that's never going to be resolved, because he's never going to finish writing any other Song of Ice and Fire books. Like, at least with the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Duncan Egg stories, the ones that have been written, are all complete stories. And on top of that, I should mention that TV adaptation of the series is coming out very soon, so this would be a good time to watch it, because you can then be familiar with the TV series before it starts. Or you can just say, you know what, I'd rather watch the TV series and not read the books. I'm tentatively very excited for the TV series. I saw the trailer. It included some things that made me very excited. I was worried they were going to either remove completely, like I genuinely thought they might just remove the Trial of the Seven. Or at the very least, condense it down to something like more quote-unquote simplified for TV audiences. And based on the trailer, from what I can see, it very much looks like they're actually going to do a real Trial of the Seven. Like, they're actually going to do it. They're not going to simplify it for TV audiences. And if that's true, that makes me feel very hopeful for the adaptation. I'm still worried that minor characters are going to be cut. I saw the Laughing Knight. Is he Stefan Baratheon? It's one of the Baratheons. The Laughing Knight was included for sure. They did an incredible job casting him. He looks so good. Like, if you watch the trailer, you will immediately know who the Laughing Knight is. Like, there will be no question in your mind. If you read the books, you'll be like, oh my god, they actually like made the Laughing Knight he looks like the Laughing Knight. And then if you have never read the books, and I'm telling you this, you're going to watch the trailer, and you're going to be like, oh, that guy right there, he must be the person that Ellery was talking about, because that is definitely the Laughing Knight. Like, you will completely, like, the casting for the Laughing Knight was incredible. Then on top of that, I'm a little worried that certain other characters will be cut, like the, Raymond Fossaway and his cousin, whose name I can't remember. I'm a little worried that the Fossaways will be cut. That will be a huge problem for me personally. Not only do I think that they are both important to the story, but one of my favorite moments in the story involves one of the Fossaway characters. But because when you're making a TV show, they tend to believe that audiences can only keep track of a certain number of characters. Typically, they cut minor characters and give their parts to other, like, major characters. Like, they would cut the characters from, they would cut, for example, I don't know, I can't think of any good examples in Dunk and Egg, because there actually aren't really that many characters. But, can I think of any good examples off the top of my head? Is his name Fatty? I think his name is Fatty Bolger. Hold on a second. Lord of the Rings. Is his name Fatty Bolger? Is that his name? Yeah, Fatty Bolger. Fredegar. Fatty Bolger in The Lord of the Rings was cut from the movies because they just thought he wouldn't be important enough to the story to include. They cut everything that Merry and Pippin do in the Shire from the story, and they just have them just like randomly run into Frodo and Sam, because they assume that audiences wouldn't be able to keep track of all that information. So a lot of the story actually in the Fellowship of the Ring takes place in the Shire. Like, I think almost half of the book takes place in the Shire. Like, it's a lot. Like, it's somewhere between like a quarter of the book and half of the book takes place in the Shire. There's a character named Fatty Bolger. His part is completely cut. Merry and Pippin's material in the Shire is completely cut. That's just like a good example. Like, if they look at a character like Raymond Fossaway or like the Fossaways, I think they're cousins. I don't think they're brothers. I think they're cousins. Yeah, they're cousins. If they look at the Fossaway cousins, they're probably thinking, you know what, most audiences aren't going to notice or care. They're not going to remember who these characters are. They're not going to pay enough attention to, like, follow along with the story. So we're just going to cut these characters. Having said that, because they're doing the Trial of the Seven, and because the Fossaways are involved in that in some way, I don't want to spoil too much, but it seems like they're probably going to be included, but you never know. They might just cut them and just give their parts to another character. I don't know. You never really know. Like, TV studios, their favorite thing to do is just tear apart source material and trash everything and not show any respect to the original source material and not adapt it properly. So typically that's just what I assume is going to happen, but having seen the trailer for The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, I do have high hopes for it. Garrett, your favorite is The Wheel of Time. Interesting. I have read The Wheel of Time. I don't think I read all of them. I got part of the way through it. I got to the... I don't think I read any of the books that were written by the other author. Have I listened to the Blue Fax audiobook for The Hobbit? I don't remember whose audiobook version I read. I'm sorry, I can't tell you whose it was. Grey Bell, did you miss the entire stream? Yes, we've already beaten the game. Now we're just chatting about books and stuff. Books and anime. Yeah, Fetty Bolger. Fredigar. Grey Bell says, you thought the movie cuts were also because of time constraints. The movie was a little more than 2 hours long. Yeah, certainly, they cut for time. But obviously the first thing they're going to cut are minor characters who they think that audiences can't follow along. And you can use time constraints as an excuse, but there are many cases where they cut material that they don't need to cut. And the Hobbit movies are a good example of that, because they cut a ton of material and then they added a bunch of material. That's the important thing. They added a bunch of material, which means they could have just not added those things and then included more things that they cut. See what I'm saying? And other stuff is just a matter of changes. Like they could have adapted Spiders and Flies properly. They could have adapted the Battle of the Five Armies properly. They could have cut a bunch of material with Alfred running around for 15 to 20 minutes just like trying to steal gold from Lake Town in the background while the Battle of the Five Armies is going on, like a character who didn't even exist in the books, and they're giving him like more screen time than most of the dwarves. Like, what in the world? Like, how did that ever happen? Like, how did any committee in a room that is sitting there planning how to write a script for a movie that's an adaptation of a book come to the conclusion that adding a completely original character who is completely annoying, not entertaining, funny, or interesting in any way, and giving him more screen time than most of the main characters from the book? How did anyone think that was a good idea? And that person who came up with the idea and thought it was good not get fired, and everyone else agreed that it was a good idea? Like, how did that happen? I don't know. But either way, they could have cut that material, and they could have included things that were cut. Like, for example, the Sparrow, who lives in and around Lake Town, a very important character in the books. He was cut from the movie. Why did they cut him? I don't know. They had plenty of screen time. They filled it with nonsense. They could have included the characters that are actually important to the themes of the story. And I mean, you can say it removed Bilbo's most important contribution to the quest, and genuinely, off the top of my head, I don't even know what you're talking about, because they cut so much of Bilbo's material, I don't even know what you personally consider to be the most important. They just cut like almost everything that he did. In the battle, by the way, both the cartoon movie is actually pretty good. I think the cartoon movie is literally better than the live action movie, but in the cartoon movie, he gets knocked out like immediately, and then the battle just happens off screen. In the live action movie, he kind of just like follows some characters around. He follows Dwalin and Thorin, and then he gets knocked out and doesn't get involved in the battle. Okay, this is not what happens in the books. In the books, Bilbo is near Thranduil, the king of the forest elves, for a good portion of the battle. Now, they don't describe exactly what he's doing, but he's standing there with all of Thranduil's guards who are fighting enemies near Thranduil, essentially protecting Thranduil. So there's again, J.R.R. Tolkien doesn't explicitly say, like, and then Bilbo stabbed a goblin in the face, but you can pretty much infer from the text that Bilbo was fighting alongside with the elves against goblins and wargs to protect Thranduil during the Battle of the Five Armies, during a good portion of the army. And then when he notices that the eagles are coming, he gets knocked out shortly after that, which is right before the battle ends. So he's involved in most of the battle, and every adaptation has gotten this wrong. They make it seem like he wasn't involved in the battle at all, which is just not true. Bushranger, you're heading out. No worries. Obviously, you didn't come here to listen to me talk about books and anime for an hour and a half. You came here to watch me play Fire Emblem, which I'm done doing. I'm going to be ending the stream soon anyway as well. Yeah, Garrett's going out. Okay, so this is probably a good time to end because a lot of people are leaving now anyway. Good night, everyone. Yeah, Thranduil was really heroic in the book too. Yeah, they changed his character a lot. I don't mind that much, things like that. I mean, granted, if you're a huge fan of Thranduil, you could be upset about it, but at least they maintained like his amount of screen time was probably about right for what it should be in an adaptation. They got a really great actor to play him, and the interesting that the material that he was given was interesting, even though it wasn't completely faithful to the book. So in my opinion, he was adapted like fine, like maybe not quite Lord of the Rings level, but either way, yeah. Let's if we're gonna do chatting streams, we should probably schedule them as their own thing. I think we've chatted enough for today. I had a lot of fun on today's stream. Thank you everyone who came by. Good night everyone, and for now, enjoy the rest of your day.